that's going to be that'll be interesting. And he's had a little leg problem too, so I don't know. You know, last year we had an excellent kicker. When we balls on the 25, we could go field goal. This year we don't have that, so we'll be limited in the kicking part of it.
All right, Coach. Appreciate your time and good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, back up to the booth.
All right, thanks a lot, Clontee Jordan, with Coach Mike Anthony for the Union Yellow Jackets. Right now, let's go over to Fabian Fuentes. In just a moment, we're going to go, well, in fact, let's go to Clontee Jordan right now as we send it back to him immediately. Going to midfield tonight for the coin toss amidst the fireworks that has erupted here at the reservation. Clontee.
All right, guys, the captains for Gaffney, Bradshaw Littlejohn, Billy Smith, Brandon Peeler, and Jeff Littlejohn. Let's listen to referee Max Milton as he introduces the captains.
I'm Mr. Milton. I'll be your referee tonight. The other officials are Mr. Jones, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Pitts, and Mr. Craig. We have already had the toss. We will simulate it. You have won the toss and will receive. You will defend this goal. Let me have black here.
All right, guys, Union has won the toss and elected to receive. So when we come back, the Yellow Jackets will go on offense. You're listening to Gaffney Indian football.
Awarded Best Play-by-Play in South Carolina by the Associated Press. This is WAGI 105.3 FM, Gaffney, Spartanburg, Greenville.
Welcome back to the reservation. Kickoff just a few ticks away. This kickoff brought to you by Ronnie Burns Ford and Western Star Trucks at Highway 221 in Chesney. That's where you'll find the new expeditions with tonight's kickoff and play-by-play descriptions. Over again to the voice of the Indians. Here is Fabian Fuentes.
Well, thanks so much, Dennis. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome into another Friday night of Gaffney football over the airwaves. The Upstate Power Station, Union and Gaffney underway. Gaffney kick line drive down the field, taken by Crosby inside the 5-yard line. Running left hash mark, cuts inside now across the 30. Tackled up near the 34-yard line. About a 29-yard return that time by Roscoe Crosby.
Crosby coming out of the chute real early, doing a good job running for the goal line, as you can expect. B.J. Dover of the Indians making the stop.
Well, starting lineup's brought to you by Patterson's Wrecker Service, located at 201 West Cherokee Street in Blacksburg, featuring Cherokee County's largest fleet of towing and recovery vehicles. The Union quarterback Joseph Pettit, the running back Kyle Browning, and the wide receivers are Marcus Porter, Tiger Glenn, Roscoe Crosby, and Matt Jolly. Up to the line of scrimmage, both football teams. Pettit up under center, gets the snap, short drop, looking left, floats a pass left sideline. This one is intercepted. Gaffney trying to return, and we're tackled inside our 35-yard line.
Good move. Gaffney's Roger Logan reached up into the night sky. He knew the ball was his, and he proved it.
Well, how about that? The 8th interception registered by this Gaffney defense, and that's only the 41st passing attempt by a Gaffney opponent this year. So 8 picks in 41 attempts. So the Indian offense starts from its 34-yard line. Gaffney has outscored its previous 2 opponents 117-7. Gaffney has scored 56 of those points off opponent turnovers. Teams in the line of scrimmage and ready to go. Union with 4 down linemen in a 3-point stance. Gaffney with a slot eye. Here's a toss sweep left side. Brian Martin trying to follow the lead, blocking a Keon Gerdner, and Brian tackled across the 35, maybe to the 36, gain of a few yards on the opening play for the Tribe.
Shane Fast along with number 14 of the Yellow Jackets, who does not appear on my roster.
Well, the Gaffney quarterback, Bradshaw Littlejohn, the running backs, Keon Gerdner and Brian Martin. We'll see Brandon Byers in there as well. The 3 wide receivers, Jackie Leach, Tron Thompson, and Brandon Peeler. Second down and 8 for Gaffney. Indians working from their 36-yard line. Ball spotted left hash mark. Gaffney working right to left here in the opening quarter of play. Bradshaw from the shotgun. Spread offense. 2 wides to each side. Martin the back flank to Bradshaw's left. Now Bradshaw, they snap it. He was not expecting it off the side of his helmet. Football loose at the Gaffney 32. Union saying that it has fallen on the football, and the Jackets have. Bradshaw Littlejohn was inching up to the line of scrimmage as if he were going to go up over center Brad Beatty. The football was snapped. Bradshaw not looking at the line of scrimmage. Hit him in the side of that black helmet, and Union has recovered.
Jimmy Henderson on the recovery for the Yellow Jackets. What a stroke of luck there, but it was one of those bum plays.
Well, the teams trade turnovers, so now the Gaffney defense will have to come up big here. First and 10, Union at the Gaffney 32-yard line, 58 seconds into the football game. Pettit gets a snap, turns, hands it off to Browning, trying to run left and tackle to the 30-yard line for a pick of about 2 yards. Second down and long.
Brought down by Gaffney's Roger McIntosh.
Well, it gives us an opportunity to complete the starting lineup for the Union Yellow Jackets. We go the offensive line, all seniors, left tackle to right tackle, Chris Smith, Willie Spears, Jay Ford, Terry Green, and Bryce Gregory. Green, the heaviest of those linemen, the right guard, number 68, 6'1", 305 pounds. Second down and 9 for the Jackets from the Gaffney 30-yard line. Pettit gets the snap, misdirection, handoff to Browning, trying to run right and tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 1 back to the 31-yard line near the original line of scrimmage. So third and long coming up for the Jackets.
And the tackle made by Eric Dover. Some help from McIntosh again with no score.
The Gaffney defensive front, Billy Smith and Trey Wood are the ends. The tackle, Jeff Littlejohn, the nose guard, Anthony Littlejohn. The 3 linebackers in the 4-3 scheme, Dory Brown, Justin Ness, and Darrell Richburg. Roger Logan, who has an interception, is one corner. Tron Dawkins on the other side. Roy Dawkins and B.J. Dover, the safeties. Third down and 10 for the Jackets at the Gaffney 31-yard line. They've got 4 wides, doubles to each side. Crosby, slot right, in motion to the left. Pettit waiting the shotgun, gets the snap, rolling the pocket left under pressure, throws, he gets hit, this is intercepted. On the return for Gaffney, Dory Brown out across the Gaffney 40 and tackled up near the 42-yard line. I think it was Brown, 45, that came away with the INT.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Dory Brown, and turnaround is fair play, I guess, in this game. And boy, we've seen it twice already in the opening moments of this game.
Well, 3 turnovers, 9:42 remaining, and a scoreless first quarter of play. 9th interception registered by this Gaffney defense now, and that is now unofficially on the season, the 7th thrown by Joseph Pettit. First and 10, Gaffney from its 42-yard line. Ball spotted right hash mark. Bradshaw gets the snap with the eye behind him, hands it off to Brian Martin, sheds off a tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and Brian up to the 45 before he's tackled. So 20 picks up nearly 3 yards on first down.
Well, twisting and turning 180 degrees, and then 360. Jimmy Henderson in on the tackle there for the Yellow Jackets of Union.
Well, the Gaffney offensive line, left tackle to right tackle, Philip Hofstetler, Adam Gilbert, Brad Beatty, Matt Robertson, and Jay Love. Stoppage of play on the field. Our referee, Max Melton, calling for an official's timeout. One of those Union defensive linemen having problems with those shoulder pads. Speaking of Union, here's the starting lineup for them as far as the defense goes. 5-man front. The ends are Shane Fast and Al Johnson. The tackles are Reggie Tucker and Mickey Rice. Rice, 91, 265 pounds, but he is a sophomore. And Jimmy Henderson in nose guard. Xavier Bird and James Ruth are the linebackers. Set the secondary for you after this play. 2nd and 7, Gaffney from its 45. Bradshaw from the shotgun. He gets rushed from the outside. Bradshaw runs out across the 45 to the 50 into Union territory. Has the first down right sideline to the 35. Hit from behind. Fumbles the football at the 30-yard line, but they're going to say, I believe, that Bradshaw was down. So the Indians have the first down. Pocket collapsed on 7. Saw the athleticism there. He took off to the races and gets Gaffney into Jacket territory.
Well, you're right, Fabian. He took just a moment, in a split second. He thought about what he was going to do. He did see the middle open up a little bit, got some room, and able to move the football and get the first down.
Unofficially, a 25-yard run by Bradshaw, who last week had a 39-yard touchdown run against Kings Mountain and finished with better than 103 yards. Stuart Young, Mike Walton, Roscoe Crosby, and Harold Thompson rounding out that Union defense there, the secondary. First and 10, Gaffney at the Jacket 30-yard line. Ball spotted right hash mark, and now a penalty marker thrown in from our referee, Max Craig. Somebody on that offensive line moving early. So the Indians will be penalized 5 yards here. Max Melton, our referee, is Mike tonight and activates the switch.
Dead ball foul. False start on the black. Still first down.
One of those linemen wanted to get out of there quickly. 5 yards marched off against the Tribe. Offensive line, Coach Montgomery looking for more consistent play out of the tackle positions this week. The interior part of that offensive line is centered in 2 guard spots. Great play last week as Gilbert, Beatty, and Robertson graded out at 88% or higher. 1st and 15 from the Jacket 35. Bradshaw the snap, tosses it back to Brian Martin, not looking for the football, picks the ball up a one, hopping in all kinds of trouble in the backfield and tackled back near the 46-yard line. Unofficially a loss of nearly 11 yards.
Nick Henderson on the tackle. Let's go to Clowney along the sidelines, and Clowney, it appears that there may be just a little bit of nerves playing into this thing tonight.
Well, guys, it might be a little tight. They know it's a big game. They know it's the toughest team they've played thus far this season, and both teams making a lot of mistakes early. I think you're right.
Well, first series, we snapped the ball off of the side of Bradshaw's helmet, and here Brian Martin either didn't know the play count or didn't expect the football. 2nd down and 27 for Gaffney. Better than a quarter of the football field to go. Bradshaw gets the snap, straight drop, looking to throw. Under pressure from the outside, Bradshaw breaks 1 tackle, heaves a pass deep down the left side, going for Keon Gerdner. Jump ball in the end zone. Keon falling backwards. He makes the catch. It is a touchdown, Gaffney. Keon Gerdner, number 3, falling to his backside, made the touchdown reception. His 2nd of the year as a scoring play, covers 47 yards.
When Bradshaw reared back to throw that football, I don't think he aimed at anybody. I don't think he knew if anybody was down there. But Keon was right there where he needed to be in the end zone and made the score.
Great concentration, falling to his backside, but 3 made the catch. Scoring update brought to you by Sagebrush Steakhouse, 1541 Floyd Becker Boulevard in Gaffney. Down to the sideline, here's Clowney with the PAT.
Rob Heim to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Bradshaw Littlejohn. The snap is down, the kick is up, line drive, and it's good. So we have 7:18 left in the first quarter. The score, Gaffney 7, Union nothing. You're listening to Gaffney Indian Football.
You at McDonald's. McDonald's Shakers. Come on in and try one of these fresh, delicious salads. Choose from chef, chicken, Caesar, or garden. A new way to shake up your lunch. Also throw in a triple cheeseburger for just $1.69 at McDonald's. The new McDonald's, McDonald's Shakers.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
Well, back at the reservation, Gaffney linebacker Dory Brown came away with an INT for that Gaffney defense. The Indians go 58 yards on 2nd and 27. Bradshaw Littlejohn, a 47-yard scoring strike to Keon Gerdner. Gaffney kickoff brought to you by Ronnie Burns Ford and Western Star Trucks, Highway 221 in Chesney. Rob Heim approaches 22, gets a good leg into this one. High end over and kick, fielded a yard deep into the end zone, and will come back to the 20 on the touchback. Automatic touchback when that football crosses the plane of the goal line.
Well, hopefully this will give the Indians a little momentum that they needed early. I think it's going to be very important against a team such as Union, Fabian, to jump out there and get some scores on the board real quickly.
Well, so far in the early going, things not going good for Union. Nothing doing on the ground, and Pettit has thrown the ball twice and has been picked off as many times. 7 interceptions now thrown by Pettit in 47 passing attempts. He operates from the shotgun, 3 wides and a slide right. There's the snap. They hand it off to Browning, running left, gets across the line of scrimmage up to about the 23 before he's tackled. A fine open field stop after a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, good work there by Tron Dawkins. He read it real well. They tried to do the reverse on that one, but Tron was right there. He'd already made 1 tackle and reached over with his left hand and did the shoestring tackle on that one.
Well, this matchup a year ago, Union only had 84 yards of total offense, and that included 27 yards on the ground on 25 attempts. 2nd down and 7 for the Jackets from their 23, down 7-0. Pettit gets the snap from the shotgun, throws this one over the middle, caught by Roscoe Crosby in traffic, tries to break a tackle across the 35 and tackled at the 36. Play covers 14 yards, and Union with its initial 1st down here in the opening half.
Tron Dawkins in on that tackle again along with Dory Brown.
Roscoe Crosby, good size at 6'3". He has the decided advantage over any of the Gaffney defensive backs in this game tonight. 9th reception of the year. Had 78 yards on 4 receptions last week, but did not get into the end zone. 1st and 10 Jackets from their 36, ball spotted left hash mark. Pettit again from the shotgun. Senior gets the snap, rolls the pocket right side, fires up the field. This caught on a juggle by Jolly near sideline at the 42. They say he's out of bounds at the 43, so that play picks up 7 and brings up 2nd down and 3.
Brad Studevants made the tackle, pushed him out of bounds. McIntosh tried but missed.
Well, this game tonight, a matchup of quarterbacks that had struggled through the airwaves in opening games this year. For Gaffney, Bradshaw, Littlejohn. Bradshaw 4 of 10 in the opener against us, but 3 of those completions for touchdowns. But Pettit, the Union quarterback against Spartanburg, was 9 out of 25, 89 yards. 2nd and 3. Pettit again from the shotgun. Trips to the short side, wide side. Looking to throw under pressure backside as a penalty marker thrown in. Fires up the field, in and out of the hands of Crosby at the Gaffney 45 and incomplete. But the flag being thrown by our umpire, Max Craig. 99.9% of the times that's going up offensive holding. Now Union clapping, saying that it's against the Gaffney defense. Face mask called against the Tribe. So automatic first down coming up here for the Jackets. 7-0 with 6:24 remaining in the opening quarter. If you're just tuning in, 3 turnovers here in the early part of this football game.
Face mask on the defense. That's a first down.
15 yards from the line of scrimmage. So the Jackets, for the second time in as many possessions in the Gaffney territory. Line of scrimmage, the Indians' 49-yard line, right hash mark. Teams at the line of scrimmage and ready to go as Max Melton winds the clock. Joe Pettit, the Union quarterback, calling out the play at the line of scrimmage in his no-huddle attack. 4 wides and trips to the wide side, left side. Has the back flank to his left. Pettit gets the snap, hands it off to Browning, straight up the middle to the 40, cutting to the outside to the 35, and tackled down at the Gaffney 30-yard line. Play picks up 13 yards, and it's the 3rd first down of this drive for the Jackets.
Tripped up by Brad Studevants. Now, after watching some of this on film all week, Coach Montgomery certainly has worked hard to try to counteract some of these plays that they're doing, but I think right now he's working and seeing some things he hasn't seen before in the film, and now he'll have to adjust on the field tonight during the game.
Well, the thing about this offense, lining up with 4 wides, it spreads out the defense. So Union on the move here, trailing 7-0. Jackets have now driven down to the Gaffney 30-yard line. Ball spotted right hash mark. Pettit from the shotgun, 3 wides, 2 to the left side. Gets the snap, hands it off to Browning, running right across the 30 and down to about the 26. Pickup of maybe 4 yards. 2nd down and 6 coming up.
Credit Trey Rulewood with that tackle, Fabian. If you're just tuning in, 7-0. 5:32 remaining in the first from the reservation and a capacity crowd.
Well, the thing about this one tonight, that Union offensive line, 238 pounds on average, but if you take away Terry Green, the right guard is 305 pounds. That's an offensive line averaging 221 across against the Gaffney defensive front, averaging 253. 2nd down and 6 for the Jackets at the Gaffney 26. Pettit again from the shotgun. This time looks to throw. Fires down the left seam. Receiver wide open. Marcus Porter makes the catch at the 10, and he is in for the touchdown. So the Jackets have answered, driving 80 yards. And are a point after away from tying this football game up. Porter, who had a 35-yard touchdown reception against Lawrence a week ago, grabs one from 26 yards here out. Down to the sideline of the call, the PAT. Here's Clowney.
All right, Adrian Zapata will kick out of the hold of J.J. Jones for Union. Here's a snap. It's low, bobbled, and blocked. No good.
Scoring update brought to you by Sagebrush Steakhouse, 1541 Floyd Baker Boulevard in Gaffney. Sagebrush, home of the baby back ribs and the best steaks in town. This is Gaffney Indian football.
Money magic. Making money appear like magic isn't going to happen. But we can help you make the most of your hard-earned money. Visit any branch to find out the kind of magic we can work for you. Where? First Piedmont. 3 locations in Gaffney, 2 in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Nobody does it better than we do. At First Piedmont Federal, our prime interest is you.
Well, back at the reservation, 5:03 remaining in the opening quarter of play. 7-6 is the Gaffney lead. And, well, Union, I don't think, has yet to make a point after this season. That one was blocked. They had one blocked last week and had one blocked the opening week against Spartanburg. This Union kickoff will travel left to right across your radio dial, brought to you by Ronnie Burns Ford and Western Star Trucks, Highway 221 in Chesney. Keon Gerdner and Brian Martin, the deep safeties for the Tribe. And straight on kick. Line drive, end over end kick. Hits at the Gaffney 14. Picked up inside the 10 by Keon. Racing into the middle of the field, out across the 20. Not much more after that. Tackled near the 25-yard line. So that is where the Indians will set up shop on this possession, leading 7-6.
Stopped in his quest for the opposite end goal line by Harold Thompson of the Yellow Jackets.
Well, that was a huge drive for Union. I mean, that was a monster drive for that football team to get them back into the football game. So 1st and 10 for the Indians. Gaffney working from its 25-yard line. 3 down linemen on that Union defensive front. Eye set for the Tribe, slot left. Bradshaw gets the snap, tries to hand it off to the fullback, but nothing doing there. Tackled at the line of scrimmage, so 2nd down and long coming up here is Keon. Had no room to work.
Jimmy Henderson making the stop for the Yellow Jackets.
Keon last week only carried the football 4 times. Did have better than 80 yards. Had a couple of receptions for 44 yards and had a kickoff return in excess of 45 yards. So 2nd down and 9. So they give Keon a yard on that. 2nd and long. Gaffney from its 25. Bradshaw from the shotgun. Trips to the left. 7 gets the snap, looking to throw, has time as Union rushes 3. Now the pocket starts to collapse. Bradshaw running for his life, nowhere to go, and tackled inside the 25-yard line.
Stood up by a host of Yellow Jackets. You're exactly right, Fabian. He had nowhere to go, trying to use his brain to find somebody out there or decide what to do, but it all was for naught because they came in on it.
And the Jackets came with a 3-man rush that time. So ball possession down here for Gaffney. 3rd down and 12 for the Indians, working from their 22-yard line. Game clock in motion, down to 3:48 remaining in the opening quarter as the Indians lead 7-6. Brandon Peeler, Tron Thompson, wide outs to the left. Jackie Leach, Keon Gertner to the right. Bradshaw from the shotgun. Union with 8 up in the box. Linebackers showing blitz. Bradshaw gets the snap. Here comes a linebacker blitz. Swing pass left side. Caught by Brian Martin. Tries to cut to the inside and tackled near the 24-yard line. Well short of the 1st down, so Gaffney will have to punt.
Xavier Bird with that little trip tackle, Fabian. I really didn't think he'd knocked him off balance, but he did. I think he just probably grabbed his ankle.
Well, one of the most dangerous return men in the state. Roscoe Crosby ready to set up shop for the Jackets 25. Got a 91-yard kick return in the opening game against Spartanburg. Rob Heim in punt formation for the Tribe. Ball spotted at the Gaffney 25-yard line left hash mark. There's a snap to Heim high. And his punt is blocked inside the Gaffney 15-yard line. Union picks up and will return to the 10 to the 5, and it's a touchdown for the Jackets. Penalty marker on the turf, however, guys. Back up at the 15-yard line, so let's hold on to everything here.
That was Xavier Bird who picked it up.
If the play stands, it's a touchdown for the Jackets off the block punt. But let's wait till we hear a clip called against Union. So that'll nullify the touchdown. And the Indians, for the time being, dodge a bullet. But right now, that momentum over on the Union side of the football field.
Flipping after the block and after the on the right. It'll be 1st down for the White.
So Union takes over at the Gaffney 24-yard line. Gaffney leading 7-6 with 2:45 remaining in the opening quarter. 4th possession, I believe, for the Jackets, and all have been into Gaffney territory. 2nd one that the Jackets have started in Gaffney territory. The 1st off a fumble. The Jackets with 3 wides, 2 to the right side, lined up right next to the offensive line. Handed off to Browning out of the shotgun, trying to run left and tackled down at the 23-yard line, gain of maybe a yard.
Oh, that was a nice twist tackle done by Gaffney's Roy Dawkins. Thought it was Roy, had to look twice.
Yeah, good job of stringing things out that time and allowing the secondary to come up in pursuit and make the tackle. 2nd down and 9 for the Jackets. Inside the Gaffney 24-yard line. Ball spotted left hash mark. 3 wides and a slide right. Petty gets a snap, short drop, throws over the middle. This caught by Jolly, makes catch over his head, still on his feet, down to the Gaffney 11-yard line. Tackled, but a penalty marker on the field, back up at the 24-yard line. I think this one might be coming back.
B.J. Dover in on the stop for the Indians.
Yeah, B.J. with 4 interceptions in the opening win against us, and they're going to wave off the flag. So 1st and 10 for the Jackets at the Gaffney 11-yard line. Now one of the officials coming over to the Gaffney sideline talking with defensive coordinator Mike Biddix. And whatever it was, Biddix may have agreed because does not put up much of a fight. So 1st down and 10 Jackets inside the Gaffney 11-yard line. Union can get the 1st down without scoring. Three wides, slot to the left. That's the wide side. Pettit up under center with a tight end to the left. Hands it off to Browning, running over left guard. Fights his way down to the 5 before he's tackled. So 5 picks up about 6 yards. Second down and about 5 coming up here.
Touchdown saving tackle from Roger McIntosh of the Indians. 7-6 if you're just tuning in. Indians on top with minute 30 remaining in the first quarter from Reservation here in Gaffney.
Yeah, blocked punt has set up the Jackets here. Actually returned that for a touchdown, but called back due to a clip. So a power I here for the Jackets. Second down and 5 inside the 6. There's a snap giving off to Browning, running over right and tackled down at the 5-yard line. Pick up of a yard. Third down and 4 coming up here.
Trey Wood and Roy Dawkins in on the tackle.
You know, Gaffney defense having to dig in here, taking a little while to unstack that pile, so to speak. So third down and 5 with 1 minute remaining in the opening quarter of play. Both of these football teams coming in at 2-0. Gaffney with wins over Hunter House and Kings Mountain. And Union with victories over Lawrence and Spartanburg. Same formation for the Jackets. On 3rd and 4 now from inside the Gaffney 5. Pettit the snap. Play action, looks to throw. Firing left side of the end zone. Dropped and incomplete. It would have been a touchdown if they hung on to the football, but could not. And I think it was Crosby, 25. It was the intended receiver, and Roscoe could not hold on. Well, so fourth down.
He really couldn't, Fabian. He was trying to look out of the corner of his eye because he saw the Gaffney defenders. I think that broke his concentration.
And with at least 3 PATs blocked this year, including one here tonight, Union will not go for the field goal here. We'll go for it. It is 4th down and 4 for the Jackets. Inside the Gaffney 5 and a timeout taken by Union, and we'll take it as well. 7-6 is the score. Gaffney on top with 35 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. This is Gaffney Indian football.
Carolina Vision Associates in the Peachtree Marketplace in Gaffney is your complete eyeglass headquarters. They can tint your glasses, make glasses from an old pair, they carry in-stock contact lenses, and you can always bring in your doctor's prescription or make an appointment to see a doctor in their store by calling 489-2016. So for fast service at reasonable prices on optical services for the entire family, visit Carolina Vision Associates. In the Peachtree Marketplace in Gaffney, your complete optical headquarters, that's Carolina Vision Associates of Gaffney.
Now back at the reservation, late stages, opening quarter of play. It is Gaffney 7 and Union 6, but the Jackets have the football as we return out of the Jackets timeout. Teams at the line of scrimmage. It is 4th down and 4 for Union inside the Gaffney 5-yard line. Power I formation, though they float a wide out to the right side. Pettit gets a snap, play action, looking to throw. Has some time, rolling, fires to the goal line. Is this caught? Yes, touchdown Union. A yard into the end zone.
Touchdown there by Roscoe Crosby.
So Crosby made the catch down on his knees. The official had to run up there to see whether or not 25 had possession of the football, and he did. So on 4th and 4, the Jackets come up with a touchdown. And for the first time this year, the Indians trail, and Union will go for the 2-point conversion here. Jackets unofficially have tried 4 of those this year, and all have been passes. Let's see. There's a snap, and Pettit looking to throw. Rolling the pocket right. Under pressure. Fires back of the end zone. Incomplete. 2-point conversion, no good. Your score, Union 12 and Gaffney 7. Scoring update brought to you by Sagebrush Steakhouse, 1541 Floyd Baker Boulevard in Gaffney. This is Gaffney Indian football.
Be sure to see the Frame Depot in the Bilo Shopping Center, Gaffney. The Frame Depot is Cherokee County's exclusive dealer for limited edition Civil War prints by nationally known artists Mort Kunstler and Don Troiani, along with many others, including Stephen Hambrick, Donnie Finley, Glenda Turley, and Lena Lou. Be sure to come into Frame Depot and see all the 200 frames in which to choose. It's Cherokee County's largest. The Frame Depot, 1107 West Floyd Baker Boulevard in Gaffney, in the Bilo Shopping Center.
Now back at the reservation, 29 seconds remaining in what has been a wild opening quarter of play. It's 12-7 Jackets, and this Union kickoff brought to you by Ronnie Burns Ford and Western Star Trucks on Highway 221 in Chesney. That's where you'll find the Crown Victorious high end-over-end kick sailing down the field, in and out of Keon Gardner's hands at the goal line, but a marker back at the spot where the football was kicked off, and the Jackets offsides here. Not a big blow to this Union kickoff coverage team. So they'll have to kick again. Keon Gardner has had some long returns this year. And just as you don't want to let Roscoe Crosby on the Union side of things.
Encroachment on the kicking team. We'll kick it again.
Have an extra return. You don't want to do it with Keon either. Gardner joined back there by Brian Martin. Remember last year, Brian had a couple of kick returns for touchdowns in the Boiling Springs game. So this time, Union will try it from its 35-yard line. His kick left to right across your radio dial. Gaffney down by 5. Straight on kick, high end over end, and this is short. Fielded by one of our up men inside the 30, returning out across the 35, angling left side, and tackled up near the 40-yard line. Roger McIntosh on the return for the Tribe.
Maurice Crosby making the stop. 12-7. As you said, for the first time this season, the Indians are behind.
So now Gaffney's offense here has got to do something to reclaim the momentum. Gaffney straight to the line of scrimmage. 4 wides, 2 to each side. Bradshaw Littlejohn, our quarterback, from the shotgun. Ball spotted left hash mark. 3 down linemen for the Jackets. Linebackers showing blitz and come as Bradshaw gets the snap. Looking left, nothing there. Bradshaw going to run the football. Takes matters into his own hands. Angling outside to the 45, to the 50. Great block at the midfield stripe. And Bradshaw tackled at the Union 41-yard line. First down for the Tribe.
Actually, he ran over Mike Walton before running head on into number 26 that does not appear on my roster, and that's where it all stopped, but not before the big first down.
Well, we need to figure out who laid the block on the perimeter that time, because that's a candidate for the blast of the game, brought to you by Baskin-Robbins. First down and 10, Gaffney at the Union 41-yard line. Don't know we'll get this snap off before the end of the first quarter. Clock down to 2, down to 1, and that's it. First 12 minutes of play in the books here at the Reservation, and this has been a slugfest. We're going to the second quarter. Your score, Union 12 and Gaffney 7. This is Gaffney Indian football.
You know that you can drive out of town to a big mall, find a NASCAR Barbie doll for just $49.95?
Or you shop in Gaffney and find the same doll for only $39.99.
Or you can go one of those big stores and find
a baby monitor!
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
We're still riding on Michelin tires because our daddy loves us.
Broadcast, retransmission, or the use of the descriptions of this game without the express written consent of Gaffney Broadcasting Incorporated is prohibited.
Well, just about ready to get the second quarter of play underway. Gaffney will work from left to right here on the playing surface at Bob Prevent Field, located at WK Brumbach Stadium, known in the Carolinas as the Reservation. Teams up to the line of scrimmage and ready to go. The Tribe down 12-7. Line of scrimmage, the Jacket 41-yard line. First and 10 for the Tribe. Go with the eyes set, Gardner and Martin. Bradshaw barking out the play at the line of scrimmage, now under center. Here's a toss sweep to the short side. Brian Martin trying to turn the corner. A few positive yards at the 36-yard line. Pick up about 5 yards for Gaffney on first down.
And he's wrestled down by Al Johnson.
In this game last year, Gaffney had 292 yards rushing. In fact, the Indians ran 54 plays, 47 of those coming on the ground. Gaffney in the previous 2 meetings rushing for nearly 580 yards on 90 attempts. Second down and 5 for the Tribe at the Jacket 36-yard line, right hash mark. Bradshaw gets the snap, fakes to the fullback, running the option behind the left side. Bradshaw trying to turn the corner, does so to the 30, to the 25, and tripped up by an ankle tackle near the 23-yard line. Pickup of about 13 yards for Bradshaw.
And that ankle tackle made by Jonathan Morgan.
A pitchback man that time was Keon Gardner. Bradshaw had better than 100 yards rushing last week and has well over 50 here in the opening half of this game. Jackie Leach wide out to the left side. Tron Thompson and Brandon Peeler wide outs to the right side. Brandon with 4 catches coming into this game and all for touchdowns. Offset eye to the left. Bradshaw, the snap, toss sweep. Left side to Keon. Cuts it back in and down to the 20-yard line. Pick up about 3 from number 3. 2nd down and 7.
Stopped there by Reggie Tucker.
Gaffney offense last week, guys. 421 yards against Kings Mountain. 247 coming on the ground on 29 attempts. This Union defense last week allowed Lawrence 362 yards, 175 of that coming on the ground. In the opening week, Spartanburg had 116 yards rushing on 39 attempts. 2nd down and 7 for Gaffney. Those are the football just shy of the Jackets 20. Spotted left hash mark. Bradshaw from the shotgun, 4 wides and trips right. Linebackers blitz as Bradshaw gets the snap under pressure. Bradshaw nowhere to go. He steps out of a tackle back out across the 30-yard line. Bradshaw stiffs arms another tackler. He's to the 25, to the 20, angling near sideline and tackled near the 17-yard line. So that'll leave Gaffney in a 3rd down and about 4.
Roscoe Crosby finally being able to bump Bradshaw and knock him out of bounds, but you know, that guy uses his head.
Well, we can't do Bradshaw any justice on that one.
No.
I mean, he got blitzed straight up the gut. I thought for sure he'd be sacked. Stepped out of that tackle and stiff-armed another one. So 3rd down and 5 for Gaffney at the Jackets 16. Ball spotted right hash mark. Brandon Byers, the fullback. He had a pair of touchdowns last week. Bradshaw turns and hands it to Brandon, trying to run left and nothing doing. Tackled at the 15-yard line, gain of 1. So 4th down coming up here for the Tribe. 4th and a long 3.
A lot of Jackets swarming there. Adrian Zapata and Chris Smith bottom on that tackle.
Well, Gaffney down 12-7, 9-12. The time remaining in the opening half. Game clock is in motion. 4th down and a long 2. According to the scoreboard, line of scrimmage, the Union 15-yard line. Gaffney with possession. Ball between the hash marks. 4 wides, 2 to each side. Littlejohn from the shotgun. Keon Gerdner, the back flank to his left. 7 kicks the leg, gets the snap, looking to throw. This the quarterback draw. Bradshaw running for his life, running to the left, cuts back inside to the 15 and tackled near the 1st down marker near the 13-yard line. And this will be the proverbial right or left foot spot, which will determine whether or not we got the 1st down. Referee Max Milton stopping the clock as he eyes the down marker. On the far sideline, Bradshaw down on his knees at the spot which he was tackled to see if he had gotten the 1st down.
Now we're at a different angle than the ball is sitting. It appears to be short from here. We'll wait to see.
Well, the change on the field, they stretch, and Gaffney is short. So the Union defense on the drive bent but did not break. And the Jackets will take over at about their 13-yard line, leading 12-7.
I want to remind you, coming up at halftime, we'll be talking to Coach Joe Montgomery as he exits the field on his way to halftime, talk with his team and get his thoughts on the 1st half. I'm not sure how well that conversation will go with Clowney tonight. Things didn't start happening here.
Well, Pettit up over center. 3 wide slide right. Browning the lone back. Pettit, penalty marker thrown in, and the play's blown dead. That one fired in there from the referee, Max Craig. Union penalized 166 yards in that win last week against Lawrence. False start, the call against the Jackets.
Dead ball foul. Start. Still 1st down.
Tonight's Gaffney Union meeting, the 57th all-time. Gaffney has won 44 of those previous meetings. The teams on one occasion did battle to a tie, but Gaffney has won the last 4 meetings in this series. 1st and 15 for the Jackets. Working from their 9-yard line. 3 wides, got a slot to the right side. Browning the lone back. He's flanked to the left of Joe Pettit from the shotgun. Gaffney with 4 down linemen. The linebacker showing blitzing way come as Pettit gets a snap under pressure. Hit as he throws a deep pass right sideline. Overthrown and incomplete. Marcus Porter, the intended receiver, streaking down the right sideline. Brad Studevants had the coverage. Pettit that time having to pick himself up off the turf.
And you can understand why. I mean, he really got belted.
Well, this kid missed all the regular season last year. Broken ankle in a preseason scrimmage. Came back for the playoffs, but did have 8 interceptions in a pair of playoff games. And had 2 in the opening quarter tonight. Second down and 15 for the Jackets. 4 wides and trips to the left side. Pettit squats down, gets the snap out of the shotgun, hands to Browning, trying to break free out of the backfield, and does. Out across the 15 to the 20 and tripped up by an ankle tackle near the 21-yard line, about 3 yards short of the first down.
B.J. Dover came out of the night sky from nowhere and did a rush tackle on him.
Well, boy, is that kid quick. Kyle Browning, 5'8", 150-pound junior, way at him, dead to rights in the backfield, but he still squirted out of there and got up to about the 22. 3rd and 2 for the Jackets from that spot. It is 12-7 Union. Game clock in motion. 8 minutes remaining in the opening half. 3 wide, slot right. Pettit now going up over center to get the snap. 4 down lineman for Gaffney. There's a snap, turns, hands to Browning straight into the middle of that line and tackled near the first down marker. Perhaps another measurement coming up here. Pettit, the quarterback, saying the Union has gotten the first down, but Max Melton, the referee, will have to unstack the pile, eye this thing over there, and see what's going on. Now puts the fist up in the air with the right arm, so 4th down here for the Jackets. And the Gaffney defense does the job. Forced penalty on the first play, killed Union on that drive. So Brandon Peeler, the single safety for Gaffney, he will await the punt from Joseph Pettit. Last week, 6 punts, averaging nearly 26 yards each of those tries. See if Gaffney comes with a rush. And we do. There's the snap and the punt away. Not a good effort at all. This one's going to hit in Union territory at the Jacket 42. A Gaffney roll back to the 40, and the Jackets down the football at their 39-yard line. So great field position for Gaffney to take over, trailing 12-7 with 7 minutes remaining in the opening half of play.
Well, as you said, the defense gets a very good hand as they come off the field, Fabian. Bending but not breaking.
And I think we've got to change at quarterback. It's Fred Littlejohn, the junior, number 1, into the game now. I said as Fred gets the snap, toss right side, Keon trying to cut it back inside and nothing doing there. Keon tackled back at the 41-yard line. Loss of about 2 yards on first down.
And he's dropped there by Union's Reggie Tucker.
Well, Fred 0 for 2 through the airwaves early part of the season. Or check, that was 0 of 2 last week. 1 of 5 in the season opener. Had 1 completion, a 20-yard touchdown strike. Jackie Leach, a wide out to the right side. Keon Gerdner going to line up as a tight end to the right. Slot to the left. Brandon Byers alone back behind Fred, who gets the snap. One with a straight drop, looking to throw. Airs it out left side. Brandon Peeler makes the catch at the 20. Shuts off a defensive back. He's to the 15 and pulled down at the Union 13-yard line. Play unofficially covers 28 yards, and Gaffney's knocking on the door.
Well, while Peeler's out there trying to get to the goal line and make a score, Coach Mike Biddick's down there doing his X's and O's, meeting with the defensive players. I think he's caught on to what's going on over there at the Union offense, and he's trying to counteract some of it.
Well, Gaffney down by 5, trying to get the football in the end zone down to our right. Bradshaw races onto the field. He replaces Leach, and in fact, Bradshaw lines up as a tight end to the right. Brandon Byers and Gerdner in the eye, wides each side. Fred gets the snap, turns, hands the ball to Keon, running to the outside. He's to the 10, cuts inside to the 5, and tackled down at the 1-yard line. First and goal for the try from there as the play picks up 12 yards.
Stuart Young making the goal-saving tackle for Union.
Yeah, a few of the Boo Birds out here thinking that 3 was in the end zone, but the official didn't see it that way. So Gaffney down 12-7, first and goal inside the Jacket 1-yard line. Gaffney working to the end zone down to our right, where they are about 2 deep standing around that fence. Bradshaw, the tight end to the right, wides each side, eye set. Fred gets a snap, turns, hands to Keon, dives over the line of scrimmage, touchdown, Gaffney. And the Indians have reclaimed the lead in this knockdown, drag-out war, but a penalty marker down. Referee Max Melton will tell us dead ball unsportsmanlike. I believe the call against the Tribe, so the touchdown stands. 13
dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct on the black. Touchdown's good, enforced on the Tribe.
So Rob Heim, who last week drilled one in from 35 yards out for the point after, will try to do it again here with Bradshaw holding. 13-12 is the Gaffney lead. Scoring update brought to you by Sagebrush Steakhouse, 1541 Floyd Baker Boulevard. Down to the sideline, here's Clowney.
All right, 35 yards again, guys. Rob Heim will attempt it out of the hold of Bradshaw Littlejohn. The snap is down, the kick is up, and it is dead solid perfect. 5 minutes and 11 seconds left in the first half. The score now, Gaffney 14, Union 12. This is Gaffney Indian football.
In just a few days, Wallace White, Pontiac Buick GMC truck will be moving into their brand new building on Highway 11 in Gaffney. But for now, every car and truck must be sold. Hurry in this weekend to find rebates as high as $5,000 or financing as low as 0%. Come see Wally Collins, Lou Holt, Don Pack, Ronnie Upchurch, David Wright, or Merv Bishop and get your best deal now on all Buicks, Pontiacs, and GMC trucks. Again, in just a few days, they'll be in their new location on Highway 11 in Gaffney, but for now, save thousands all at Wallace White, Pontiac Buick GMC truck, located just off I-85 at exit 95 in Gaffney.
Now back at the reservation, Gaffney kickoff brought to you by Ronnie Burns Ford and Western Star Trucks on Highway 221 in Chesney. That's where you'll find the Ford Ranger and F-Series trucks. Rob Heim with a football teed up at the Gaffney 40-yard line, right hash mark. Near side, we'll travel left to right across your radio dial. Rob gets a high end-over-end kick away, drifting to the left sideline and fielded there. Running straight into the middle of the field, out to the 12-yard line, trying to reverse field, and nothing doing there as we make the tackle. Gang tackle up near the 11-yard line. Al Johnson, I think it was, on the return for the Jackets that time, 84, and it was. Yep. Well, 5:01 remaining in the opening half of play, and Gaffney has reclaimed the lead at 14-12. But, folks, the kicking game has been huge in this game. Union blocked the punt, had the touchdown return nullified because of a clip, but then turned that into a 24-yard scoring drive. And then Union with a 17-yard punt, and Gaffney able to drive 39 yards for a touchdown. That summary brought to you by Fats Cafe. That's where you'll enjoy special lunch items from $4.99 to $5.99. First and 10 Jackets from their 11-yard line. 3 wides to the right side. Pettit from the shotgun. Gives a leg kick for the snap count. 16 gets the snap. Fires deep down the right sideline. And the catch is made by Roscoe Crosby, and he's off to the races at the 40. He's down to the 20, 15, 10, 5. It is a touchdown for Union. 89 yards. It was man coverage over there on the right side, and Roscoe Crosby made the athletic catch, and the Jackets have reclaimed the lead at 18-14.
Well, Roscoe caught that one on the fly. I mean, he was running for his life. He knew that he could hear the footsteps of the Indians behind him, but he reached up, and luckily the ball fell right into his arms.
And the Jackets will go for 2, but Union head coach Mike Anthony has called for a timeout, and will take the break as well. 18-14 Union. 4:50 remaining in the opening half. This is Gaffney Indian football.
Perry's Tire Service would like to express their appreciation to all of their cherished customers for their loyalty to Perry's Tire over the years. We have been able to provide services such as brakes, shocks, struts, CV axles, front end alignments, plus many more services. Needless to say, we have fantastic prices on chrome wheels and sell a complete line of Cooper tires for passenger cars and trucks. Contact David, Deborah, or Alicia at Perry's Tire, located at 401 Grenard Street in Gaffney, phone at 489-7960.
Now back at the reservation, 4:50 remaining in the opening half of play. The Jackets have just scored on an 89-yard scoring strike from Pettit to Crosby. This the 2-point conversion now for Union. Unofficially 6 2-point conversion attempts this season for the Jackets, and they have gone to the airwaves on all of them. Pettit from the shotgun left hash mark. Rolls the pocket right. Lofts a pass. Right corner of the end zone. Over the shoulder catch made, and it is good. The 2-point conversion for the Jackets. Your score with 4:50 remaining in the opening half. Union 20 and Gaffney 14. This is Gaffney Indian football.
We all know that cooler weather is coming, and most would like to see it sooner than later. And the folks at Childress Heating and Air Conditioning say don't get caught in the cold this year. Call and ask them about their priority customer service agreement. Besides having your heating system checked in the fall and your air conditioning checked in the spring.
Need money fast? BF Motor Credit offers small loans starting at $300. Fast, friendly service is guaranteed within 30 minutes. No appointments are needed. BF Motor Credit, located at 421 North Limestone Street, downtown Gaffney.
Union kickoff brought to you by Ronnie Burns Ford and Western Star Trucks, Highway 221 in Chesney. That's where you'll find the escorts. Union kick traveling right to left. High end over end kick. Keon makes the catch on the left hash of the 10, out across the 20 to the 25, through the 30, out across the 35, and tackled up near the 39-yard line. Keon Gertner with a return unofficially of 29 yards.
And he's finally brought down by Maurice Crosby.
Well, you talk about two different football teams here tonight. The Gaffney scoring drives of 58 and 39 yards. The Union scoring drives of 80, 24, and 89 yards. First and 10, Gaffney working from its 38-yard line. Fred Littlejohn remains the quarterback. Eye set. Gets a snap. Turns hands to Brian Martin trying to run over the right side. And 20 tackled up at the 41-yard line. Gain of maybe 3 yards. Second down and 7.
Stopped by Xavier Bird of the Yellow Jackets.
Go back to the matchup here 2 years ago in 97, which Gaffney won 35-29. Indians led that game 35-7. In the fourth quarter before the Jackets made things close. Last year was a whitewash as the Indians won 28-0 at County Stadium. Brandon Peeler, a wide out to the left side. Tron Thompson to the right. We've got Bradshaw slotted to the short side over on the right. Linebacker showing blitz as Fred gets the snap. Straight drop, hands off on the draw play to Brian trying to follow the lead blocker, and he's tackled at the line of scrimmage. It's a very quick Union defense and made it pay for us there. Ball possession down coming up here for Gaffney.
Well, once again, Jimmy Henderson in on the tackle.
Well, third down and 8 for the Tribe. Got to get this thing out across the 48-yard line to keep the drive alive. Looking up at the scoreboard. First half game clock down to 3:35, and Union leads this game 20-14. Bradshaw now a wide out to the left side. Had a 27-yard touchdown reception against the Jackets last year. Twins to each side. Fred from the shotgun gets the snap. Here comes the blitz from the left side. Fred throws up the field and incomplete. Just underthrew Bradshaw, but if Littlejohn had even made the catch, he would have been tackled up at the 46, which would have been well short of the first down. So Gaffney will have to punt the football here.
Actually, Fabian, I don't know if you caught it from your vantage point. We're looking through the field glasses. That ball took a little bit of a hop off the turf down there.
Yeah, that's why if Bradshaw had even made the catch, it would have been short of the first down. So Rob Heim on the punt, but be careful here. Roscoe Crosby, he's the Deion Sanders of high school football. Guy's a phenomenal athlete, and we just saw it there on his 89-yard touchdown reception. Rob Hyman, punt formation. 22 gets the snap. Here comes the rush. Rob gets a nice effort away. 25 coming up, makes the catch at the Union 25. Jitterbugs his way out of one tackle, still on his feet as he drifts back inside the 25, and running to the left, has a blocker ahead out across the 30 at 35, and horse collared from behind up near the Union 39-yard line.
By Dory Brown. You're right. It was a horse collar. I thought he was going to jump on and ride.
This is a big series right here. It has been feast or famine for the Union offense, and now Crosby's saying he needs a break. 25 walking off to the Union sideline. It is 20-14, the Jackets on top with 3:05 remaining in the opening half of play.
And it's nice to see the scoreboard clock working tonight.
Yes.
2 weeks ago, we didn't know, except the folks on the field knew what was going on as far as time, but they've got it working again.
Now Pettit from the shotgun. 4 wides, 2 to each side. Now Porter wide out left in motion behind the line of scrimmage to the right to give him trips. Pettit gets the snap, rolls to the right side. Under pressure backside, fires up the field, and this is caught at the 50. And a tackle made at the Gaffney 48, and a late penalty marker coming in on the play as Josh Harris made the reception and got to the Gaffney 48-yard line. Dead ball foul, I believe, coming up here.
If that's the case, that's the second one the Indians have gotten tonight.
Personal foul against Gaffney. And I think we may have a player rejection. I think Max Melton not only made the indication of the personal foul, but I think he made the heave-ho indication. Let's see.
Let's go to Clowney standing along the sidelines.
Dead ball foul, personal foul on the black. Player is ejected.
Yeah, he is, and let's see.
All right, who is it?
We'll find out in a second, hopefully. And I'll tell you what, if I were that young man, I think I'd just want to walk off to the locker room instead of have to cross the paths to one Coach Joe Montgomery. As our defensive coordinator out there on the field, Mike Biddick's calling for a timeout. I think it's Brad Studevants, too.
Let's go to Clowney.
All right, guys, it looks like number 2 is coming off the field.
Well, that's Brad Studevants. And there is Brad.
He's ejected, so let's take a break. Union on the move. 2:58 to go first half, and the Jackets lead 20-14. This is Gaffney Indian football.
This weekend, Brown Furniture Company in downtown Gaffney invites you to their mega 50% off store-wide super sale. No exceptions, nothing held back. All living rooms, bedrooms, and dining rooms, 50% off. All washers, TVs, refrigerators, half off at Brown Furniture Company in downtown Gaffney. Great selection, great savings, great prices, a store-wide half-price super sale. Don't miss the opportunity to save 50% off everything store-wide through Saturday only at 5 p.m. All from the furniture store that offers you more. That's Brown Furniture Company, 113 East Frederick Street, downtown Gaffney.
Back in the line of scrimmage, team's ready to go. Pettit gets the snap for the Jackets, floats a pass down the left seam, overthrown and incomplete. Marcus Porter, the intended receiver, double covered that time. 2nd down and 10 now for the Jackets from the Gaffney 33-yard line. 2:53 remaining in the opening half. It is 20-14 Jackets on top. And this has been a flat-out war.
Clowney will be back to you in just a moment. Maybe you'll have some insight on Studevance's ejection and what he actually did out there.
Well, normally when it happens that quick, a punch was thrown. 2nd down and 10 for Union at the Gaffney 33 as the crowd comes to its feet. Pettit from the shotgun. 4 down lineman for the try. There's a snap. We come with the rush. Pettit throws. Quick slant overthrown and incomplete.
All right, Clowney.
Can't get close enough to find out right now, guys. I'm going to ask Coach Montgomery at the half what happened on the ejection.
And, you know, we talked about Coach Montgomery. When Brad came off the field, Brad passed right by him. Coach didn't say 2 words as he continued talking with his quarterback, Bradshaw.
Well, Studevance, I watched him. He's very, very distraught about it, pulling at his equipment out there and still mouthing something back toward the officials.
3rd down and 10. The Jackets at the Gaffney 33. Pettit from the shotgun, 4 wides, 2 to each side. 3rd and long, gets the snap. Pettit looking to throw. Airs it out right sideline, going for Crosby again. Pushes off the defensive back, makes the catch, and is tackled at the Gaffney 3-yard line.
He just rolled off of Gaffney's Terrence Dukes. It appeared that they were pushing off.
Wow, we got that Michael Irvin thing going here now. What do they say? All great wide receivers are able to find a way to push off the defensive backs. I think that's what 25 may have just done there.
It appeared that way to me.
1st and goal for Union at the Gaffney 4-yard line with 2:36 remaining in the opening half. And the Jackets leading 20-14. Did I see Bradshaw Littlejohn come into the game? Yes. Bradshaw, our quarterback, wide receiver, is now coming into the game to play defensive back. And I guarantee you he's going to be out there against Roscoe Crosby. Remember now, Roscoe at 6'3", has a size advantage over every Gaffney defensive back. But Bradshaw now coming in there at 6'4". So 1st and goal for Union. Line of scrimmage, the Gaffney 4-yard line. Jackets trying to get into the end zone down to our left. Going with the power eye again. Pettit up under center, gets the snap, hands it off to the deep back. Browning running left, pushes the pile to the goal line. Is he in? No, just shy of the end zone. So 2nd and goal, just inches away from the goal line, the Yellow Jackets.
Good work by Tron Dawkins, who saved the touchdown there, but they're ever so close. If you're just tuning in tonight, this game is Union's right now, 20-14.
Power eye again. Pettit surveys the Gaffney defense. 2nd and goal. Pettit on the keeper over the left side. Is he in? No, they say he's short. Good surge by the right side of that Gaffney defensive line as Pettit took the snap and tried to go over left guard, but is denied. 3rd and goal. Game clock in motion. Down to 70 seconds remaining here in the opening half. And now Union will burn its final timeout. And the Jackets do just that. 67 seconds remaining in the opening half. 3rd and goal for the Jackets from inside the 1. When we return, Union leads 20-14. This is Gaffney Indian football.
Baskin-Robbins says, blast them away, Indians. Just like the Indians, you too can enjoy a blast. A cappuccino, mocha, or chocolate blast. Made with your choice of ice cream and topping. Treat yourself to one of the smoothies made with truly free yogurt and fruit.
Buford Street True Value and Home Medical Equipment is open and ready to serve you. We offer a full line of hardware items to help you with all of your home fix-ups. We also offer a complete line of housewares, toys, and gifts for that special occasion. So come see us today at the new bigger and better Buford Street True Value, 101 North Grenard Street, Gaffney.
67 seconds remaining in the first half, and Union leads 20-14. Umpire sorting things out. Now we're ready to go. Everybody gets in their stance. Pettit up under center, gets the snap, tries to go up over center, and he is in for the touchdown. So the Jackets tack 6 more onto their advantage, 26-14. Union unofficially driving 61 yards this drive. Scoring update brought to you by Sagebrush Steakhouse, 1541 Floyd Baker Boulevard in Gaffney. Sagebrush, home of the baby back ribs and the best steaks in town. And perhaps again, we will see the Jackets go for the 2-point conversion. Unofficially, this is the 8th time here in the 99 season that Union has had to go for 2 points. And this is just the 3rd game. So the Jackets going for 2. 4 wides, 2 to each side. Pettit from the shotgun. Here comes the rush. Pettit looking right, nothing there. Slings a pass, goal line, intercepted, and a 2-point conversion is no good. But with 65 seconds remaining in the opening half, the Jackets have extended their lead over Gaffney. It is now 26-14 Union. This is Gaffney Indian football.
Your sports connection is Sageport on Floyd Baker Boulevard in Gaffney. Hurry in this weekend to find all the hottest styles of athletic footwear and clothing on sale. See the great selection of college and pro t-shirts, sweatshirts, and jerseys on sale. You'll save on book bags and backpacks, as well as a super selection of hats. The big back-to-school sale is continuing this week with store-wide bargains, so stop in, browse around, and remember, for every sport you play, Sageport leads the way. That's Sageport on Floyd Baker Boulevard in Gaffney.
Along with Dennis Fowler, Claudia Jordan, Fabian Fuentes from the Reservation. And this one is the score being given around South Carolina. May raise a few eyebrows. With 65 seconds remaining in the opening half, it is Union 26 and Gaffney 14. This Union kickoff brought to you by Ronnie Burns Ford and Western Star Trucks on Highway 221 in Chesney. That's where you'll find the Ford Expeditions. This Union kick will travel right to left across your radio dial. Martin and Gardner, the deep safeties. High end over end kick. Keon makes the catch right side at the 10 to the 15. Out to the 20. Cuts back to the inside. Up to the 30-yard line. Keon still on his feet, but gang tackled at the 30.
Well, Ralph Depp, the guy who started all that, was number 82, Maurice Crosby. Crosby grabbed him by the shirt, wrestled him to the ground.
So 1st and 10 for the Indians from their 29-yard line, trailing 26-14. The Indians had only given up 7 points coming into this game, but 26 here in the opening half. Tron Thompson, Brandon Peeler, wideouts to the left side. Jackie Leach to the right. Bradshaw back in there at quarterback. After missing the last couple of series, he's got the shotgun arm. Bradshaw looking to throw from the shotgun. Has some time. Airs it out down the left side, going for Brandon Peeler. Incomplete. Brandon tried to reach out and snag the football at the Jacket 35, but 13 could not hold on.
So it rolled off the tips of his fingers.
Well, Gaffney with a pair of timeouts remaining here in the opening half. Union with none. Both of these football teams coming in here with 2-0 records. Union head coach Mike Anthony in his 3rd season at Union, 17-12, 113, 115, and 1 overall. Joe Montgomery in his 9th season at Gaffney, 87-29 coming into this game. 2nd down and 10 for Gaffney from its 29-yard line. Ball spotted right hash mark. Bradshaw gets a snap from under center, looking to throw, under pressure, running with the football up to the 30, pump fakes, running right sideline to the 40, stiffs arms the defensive back up to the 45, and they say Bradshaw's out of bounds up there. 16-yard gain for Bradshaw, and the chains will move.
He stiff-armed Al Johnson of the Beehive down there.
Well, the Indians here right now have been stung by the Jackets. But Gaffney trying to put one in before the end of the opening half. Now the clock remains stopped until the snap because Bradshaw had gone out of bounds. Brandon Peeler wide out to the left side. 2 to the right side, Jackie Leach and Tron Thompson. Keon Gardner, a wingbacker slot to the left as Bradshaw lines up in the shotgun. Ball spotted right hash mark. Gaffney working from its 45. Union showing the linebacker blitz. They retreat. as Bradshaw gets the snap. 7 looking to throw, fires left side. This is caught. Brandon Peeler on the run. Brandon to the 30 and tackled down at the Jacket 26-yard line. And the chains will move again with 38.5 seconds remaining.
James
opening half.
James Ruth in on the tackle. He was the only guy to beat. Brandon could have gotten to the goal line had he been able to meet Ruth.
And Brandon alertly races back up the field and calls for a timeout and gets it with 38 seconds remaining in the opening half. Gaffney on the move, but trailing 26-14. This is Gaffney Indian football.
New at McDonald's. McDonald's Shakers. Come on in and try one of these fresh, delicious salads. Choose from chef, chicken, Caesar, or garden. A new way to shake up your lunch. Also throw in a triple cheeseburger for just $1.69 at McDonald's. The new McDonald's Shakers.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
Week number 3 of the 1999 high school football season. It's Gaffney and Union here tonight at the reservation. And right now, the visitors from Union lead the Indians 26-14 with 38.5 seconds remaining in the opening half of play. Though the good news for Gaffney fans is that the Indians have it first down and 10. Football spotted at the Jacket 27-yard line. Gaffney trying to get into the end zone down to our right. Teams on the line of scrimmage and ready to go. 2 lines each side for Gaffney. Littlejohn from the shotgun. Bradshaw gets the snap. 7 looking to throw. Has time. Airs it out left side. Overthrown and incomplete. Tron Thompson, the intended receiver.
Trying to get to Tron, but he overshot him.
Well, one of the things about Bradshaw is coming into this game, Bradshaw had not been intercepted in at least his last 94 passing attempts. And, of course, this goes back to last year. He got his first start in Week 10 against Greenwood, had 3 interceptions in that ball game, but has not been intercepted since. Second down and 10, Gaffney at the Jacket 27. Ball spotted right hash mark. Same formation. Bradshaw from the shotgun. Here comes the rush. Bradshaw, pressure backside. The right-hander looking, floats the ball. Left side of the end zone, overthrown and incomplete. Brandon Peeler, the intended receiver, but Brandon had 2 white jerseys chasing him down that time. So 3rd and 10.
Hanging all over him.
Well, Gaffney does have 1 timeout remaining. 28 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The Indians have not run, I don't believe, tonight, that little middle or inside wide receiver screen. 3rd down and 10. Gaffney breaks the huddle up to the line of scrimmage in the home black jerseys and the Vegas gold pants. Union in the road white jerseys with the black pants and helmets. Gaffney, 3rd and long. Littlejohn from the shotgun. There's a snap. Bradshaw with time to throw. Guns a pass deep right sideline. Going for Keon. Defensive back falls down. Keon jumps into the air and makes the catch. Touchdown, Gaffney. Keon Gardner with his 2nd acrobatic touchdown catch of the evening. The first one came on a 47-yard scoring strike from Bradshaw. And this one covers 27 yards on 3rd down. And Gaffney's back in the football game, down by 6. Scoring update brought to you by Sagebrush Steakhouse, 1541 Floyd Baker Boulevard in Gaffney. Sagebrush, home of the baby back ribs and the best steaks in town. Down to the near side and to call the PAT. Here's Clowney.
Okay, guys, Rob Heim out of the hold of Bradshaw Littlejohn. Heim is 2 for 2 tonight. Here's the snap. It's down. The kick is up and a little end over end, and it is good. We've got 22 seconds left before halftime. Score now, Union 26, Gaffney 21. This is Gaffney Indian football.
Settle for just bacon when you can have a whole hog. Come see them at First Piedmont. 3 locations in Gaffney, 2 in Spartanburg for absolutely free checking. First Piedmont.
Nobody does it better than we do. At First Piedmont Federal, our prime interest is you.
Awarded Best Play-by-Play in South Carolina by the Associated Press. This is WAGI 105.3 FM, Gaffney, Spartanburg, Greenville.
Now back at the reservation, late stages of the opening half. Gaffney now within 5 of the Jackets as Union leads 26-21. Gaffney kickoff from Rob Hine, brought to you by Ronnie Burns Ford and Western Star Trucks. They're located in Chesney on Highway 221. That's where you'll find the Ford Explorers. 22 line drive kick, drifting down the field, taken by one of the Union Upmen at about the 20, returning out across the 35 to the 37-yard line where the tackle is made, and a penalty flag coming in up there.
Dory Brown in the tackle. Will wait for the indication from referee Max Melton.
Well, Dory had an interception early this game, and holding is the call against the Jackets with 15 seconds remaining in the opening half. So Union more than likely here just going to take a snap from center, wind out the clock, and that's it. Here's Max Melton.
Holding on the white, 10 yards during the run. It'll be first down.
And we got a DB coming off the field, too. This is a big blow to our defense. Tron Dawkins, the 5'9" senior, coming off to the Gaffney sideline. This more than likely, let's see here, as Union comes up to the line of scrimmage. Pettit talking things over with his running back Browning, and both gesturing with their hands. I don't care. What do you think we ought to do? And they still continue. Pettit up over center. Gaffney with 3 down linemen. The ultimate prevent, and Pettit takes a snap and a quick knee, and that'll do it. So the opening half of play is in the books here at the reservation. These teams combined for 47 points in the first 24 minutes of play as the Jackets lead at the break 26-21. Right now to the sideline, Clowney Jordan with Coach Joe Montgomery.
Coach, let's start with something positive. This catch by Keon left with 22 seconds left.
Yeah, it's a big play right before halftime. You know, I think we'll be all right offensively. I think we can get the ball in the end zone. Yeah, I don't know if we can stop them. We'll play Bradshaw on a corner or something.
So Bradshaw's going to see him more on defense in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to play there. He's the only one that's got enough size and speed to stay with the Crosby kid.
What happened on the kid who was ejected?
They didn't ask the ref. Probably pushing and shoving or unsportsmanlike. I didn't even ask the referee.
Is Fred going to start the quarterback in the second half?
No.
All right, Coach, thank you. All right, guys, back up to the booth.
Coach Montgomery, kind of matter of fact tonight. He didn't linger with his not post-game comments, but halftime comments to Clowney Jordan. Got other things on his mind, I'm sure. Number one, he was concerned about what's going to happen in the second half, and he's concerned about the Crosby kid, as he calls him. And I tell you what, he's got some adjusting to make. I'm sure he will make it. Not a lot to say about the player who was ejected. And that was Studevants, but we'll have more on that later on. Maybe Clowney can get a chance to talk to Max Melton at halftime, and they're that and other things coming up, so be sure and stay with us. It's 26-21. Union Yellow Jackets on top of the Indians. When we come back, halftime. This is Gaffney Indian football.
Carolina Vision Associates in the Peachtree Marketplace in Gaffney is your complete source for total optical services for you and your family. Dennis Turner and his staff are there to assist you with new glasses and new frames. They stock wide assortments of contact lenses, and you can get an eye exam right there in their store, or simply bring in your doctor's prescription for fast, friendly service. For an eye exam, just call 489-2016. So for complete optical services for you and your family, remember Carolina Vision Associates in the Peachtree Marketplace, Gaffney.
The Frame Depot in the Bilo Shopping Center, Gaffney, is your source for wall decor for the home or office. The Frame Depot has a wide selection of limited edition prints in stock and other hard-to-find prints available by special order. The experts at the Frame Depot offer free consultation and hanging services on all orders. They also have 200 frames and mats from which to choose for custom framing. Don't settle for second best. See the professionals at the Frame Depot, 1107 West Floyd Baker Boulevard in the Bilo Shopping Center, Gaffney.
Did you know that you can drive out of town to a big mall, find a NASCAR Barbie doll for just $49.95?
Or you shop in Gaffney and find the same doll for only $39.99.
Or you can go one of those big stores and find a 42-inch paint extension rod, $2.49.
But in Gaffney, it's $1.99. What store is this?
It's the new Buford Street True Value. That's what it is. Shop and save today. It's the bigger, the better Buford Street store in Gaffney. True Value and Home Medical. Buford Street. That's where it is.
Awarded Best Play-by-Play in South Carolina by the Associated Press.
At First Piedmont Federal, we believe in you having fun.
To me, this is fun. To them, I'm worth a loan.
And we believe in helping you get ahead.
They pre-approved my loan before I started shopping.
With a quick response, usually within a day.
We've gotten our loans from them for years.
They know us and can tailor a payment plan that fits our needs.
First Piedmont Federal, where our prime interest is you.
Fabian will recap it with a game summary coming up in just a moment. Then, of course, still yet to come, we will have halftime statistics and talk around the table here with us about what we think about this game so far, and also we'll discuss what we can see in the second half here tonight. Fabian.
Yeah, boy, if it were up to me and I looked into that crystal ball, I can guarantee you what we'd see in the second half, but we don't have that power. I wish we did, but we don't. It's just been a football game. You've got two explosive offenses here tonight, Dennis. It's just been a game of big plays. You're talking touchdown passes of 27, 89, 47, 26 yards. You've had big plays in the special teams, had a number of turnovers in the early part of this football game, had the player ejection. So we've seen just about everything there is to see in the opening half of a football game. Gaffney, a huge touchdown, guys, there at the end of the opening half. As you mentioned, Gaffney scoring with 22 seconds remaining to pull back to within 5 points. But this is anybody's ball game at halftime.
You didn't! And guess what? We got you a matching set!
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Team of the Jackets have faced this year, and for Gaffney, the first test that the Indians have faced in '99. So it will come down to a second-half football game.
Oh, absolutely. It's certainly a test not to, discredit any of the teams that we played previously, and that includes Kings Mountain last week, and also our good friends up in Hutter Huss just earlier. So those games were good games, Fabian. But you know what? Those games were more like scrimmages for this Indian team. They went out there and they just mauled over them, and what do you expect? You come down here tonight, you knew that Union was going to be tough. That's what they've got. You got a capacity crowd out here watching you. You got the fans in the game on both sides of the football. Hey, it's one of those dog-eat-dog games. Whether Union is in this region or not, you take that.
Need money fast? BF Motor Credit offers small loans starting at $300. Fast, friendly service is guaranteed within 30 minutes. No appointments are needed. BF Motor Credit, located at 421 North Limestone Street, downtown Gaffney.
Buford Street True Value and Home Medical Equipment is open and ready to serve you. We offer a full line of hardware items to help you with all of your home fix-ups. We also offer a complete line of housewares, toys, and gifts for that special occasion. So come see us today at the new bigger and better Buford Street True Value, 101 North Grenard Street, Gaffney.
Big play. Bradshaw had success when he had to scramble for his life on a few occasions in the first half with gaining yardage. But Fred Littlejohn, he can throw the football as well. So Fred getting in there, gaining valuable experience. Bradshaw, once again, going with the athlete thing and the size thing we saw late.
Chocolate Blast, made with your choice of ice cream and topping. Treat yourself to one of the smoothies made with truly free yogurt and fresh fruits. If you really want to indulge yourself, try our 2-scoop sundae or banana split. Baskin-Robbins is the world's largest chain of ice cream specialty shops, and 2 of them are located right here in Gaffney on Baker Boulevard and Nancy Creek Road. For your birthday, football, or specialty ice cream cake orders, call 487-3131.
From sporting goods to clothing, shoes to hats, you always find the hottest styles of athletic gear when you shop Sage Sport on Ford Baker Boulevard in Gaffney. Hurry in this week to find special prices on all shoes for the entire family by all the famous makers. See the super selection of college and pro t-shirts, shorts, and jerseys, and you'll find lots of unadvertised specials throughout the store. They've got one of the best inventories of athletic shoes around, so you need to stop in this weekend and save. It's all happening this week at Sageport, your sports connection. That's Sageport, Floyd Baker Boulevard in Gaffney.
Welcome back to the reservation, 26-21 as we go to the second half tonight. Indians are trailing. Buckle your seatbelts and your chin straps too if you're sitting at home. This is going to be a barn burner. If you've got to go to the refrigerator, do it now. Don't get caught in the middle, or if you're going to do it, take your radio with you. Second half kickoff brought to you by Ronnie Burns Ford and Western Star Trucks and Highway 221 in Chesney. That's where you'll find the new 2000 Ranger and F-Series trucks. Now, with play-by-play descriptions of the second half, as we continue with more, here is the voice of the Indians once again, Fabian Fuentes.
Thanks, Dennis, and his kick will travel right to left across your radio dial. Union set to kick it off. Brian Martin and Keon Gerdner, the deep safeties for Gaffney. Straight on kick. Squibber down the middle of the field. Picked up at the Gaffney 20. McIntosh, I believe, on the return. B.J. Dover checked that across the 35 and 21 up to the 39-yard line.
And that's where he is stopped by Union's Jermaine Savage.
So opening series, third quarter, as Gaffney trails this football game by 5. Indians straight from the sideline to the line of scrimmage. Tron Thompson, Brandon Peeler, wideouts to the left side. Jackie Leach to the right. Bradshaw is the quarterback. Some confusion. Keon Gerdner, 3 are back trying to figure out where to line up. He'll be slotted to the right side, ball just inside the right hash mark. Bradshaw from the shotgun, Martin back to his left. 7 gets the snap. Here comes the blitz from the corner. Caught Tron Thompson out across the 50. Here's Brandon Peeler to the 40, to the jacket 35, and stood up near the 34-yard line. So the Indians, big play to get out of the game here in the third quarter.
Momentarily lost control of the football, but he was already down. He was stopped there by Union Stuart Young.
Yeah, sorry about that, Brandon. I thought 12, Thompson had made the catch, but Brandon makes the reception and advances the football down to the jacket 34-yard line.
Well, he said, just don't let it happen again.
I'll try not to. First and 10 for the Tribe. Ball spotted left hash mark, jacket 34-yard line. Opening series, third quarter. Send a slot to the short side, left side. Gerdner and Martin in the eye. Bradshaw up over center, gets the snap. Hands it off to Keon on the dive, and nothing doing there. Keon tackled a yard behind the line of scrimmage back near the 35. It's all where they say Keon's forward progress was stopped.
That's where he's dropped by Union's Reggie Tucker.
Well, Keon in the matchup last year had a pair of touchdowns. But coming on the ground, 20 and 10-yard runs tonight. Pair of touchdowns in the opening half. Both receptions. Keon saying he's got an equipment problem as he tries to buckle that right chin strap, but stays in there. Trips to the wide side, right side for Gaffney. Second down 11 for the Union 35. Bradshaw over center, gets the snap. Straight drop, looking to throw. Bradshaw trying to run to the right, now reversing his field. Still looking down the field. Launches a pass, left side of the end zone, going for Keon. Tries to tighten up the sideline, makes the catch, but he's out of bounds.
Well, he could have very easily stayed inbounds. He could have just stepped right back over the line. Oh, what a beautiful reception. Oh, man.
Now, Keon, almost his third phenomenal touchdown reception of the night. Tried to tighten up that sideline, left side of the end zone, but was out of bounds when he made the catch. So third down and 11 coming up here for Gaffney. Ball just inside the jacket 35-yard line. Opening series, third quarter of play. Thompson and Peeler wides to the left. That's the short side. Jackie Leach out to the right. Jackie with 1 reception on the year, that in the Hunter Husk game for a 3-yard touchdown. Now we slot Keon right as Bradshaw gets a snap from the shotgun under pressure. Bradshaw throws, he's hit, caught in the backfield by Brian Martin, steps out of 1 tackle, still running for his life back at the 40, and is tackled there. It's a loss of 6 yards. Fourth down and nearly 17.
Well, it could have been a loss of a whole lot more if he hadn't gotten rid of the football. Stuart Young made the tackle.
Yeah, play just really never developed. So Gaffney, after 1 first down, that coming on the first play here in the third quarter, the Indians drive stalls out at the Union 40-yard line. So Rob Heim coming on to punt the football. 22 trots onto the field. Line of scrimmage just inside the jacket 40-yard line, right hash mark. Roscoe Crosby, the single safety. See if Heim can pooch this one in there. Been able to do that on a couple of occasions in the first 2 football games. And we're going to fake it. We hand it to the up back, Brandon Byers, but he's tackled back at the 41, so we lose 2 yards. Gaffney goes with a fake punt, but no room for Brandon to run with the football, and 36 tackled at the 41. And that is where the Jackets take over. 9:38 remaining in the third quarter now. Union gets its first possession. of this period, leading 26-21.
Well, I think they read that one, at least suspected it.
Teams up to the line of scrimmage. Gaffney with a 4-down lineman. Pettit up under center. Trips to the right. Hands it off to Browning. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Back near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, good work there by Gaffney Smith.
Well, in the opening half, the Jackets rushing for 42 yards on 14 attempts. And all that from Browning as far as the yardage total goes. 2nd down and 11 for Union. Once again, this no-huddle offense. Pettit calling out the play as he settles into the shotgun. As the back to his left, 4 wides and trips to the wide side, right side. Pettit takes that crouch, gets the snap. Here's a swing pass, right side, caught by Roscoe Crosby. We gang tackle him up near the 46-yard line, and the penalty marker comes in at the spot where they were trying to set a block up there. So if the play stands, gain of 5, but let's check the flag. Clip called against Union. The preliminary indication. That's the first time tonight we've seen the Jackets run that screen play to Roscoe. That's just simply getting the ball into the hands of your best athlete. So marched off from the spot of the foul, which I believe occurred up near the 44-yard line. And we'll hear from Max Melton in a minute. Though Gaffney may choose to decline this, it would bring up 3rd down in about 7 or 8 if Gaffney declines this penalty.
Clipping. It's refused. 3rd down.
So the Indians decline the penalty. Ball possession down. And so here we go. Union has to get the football past the Gaffney 48 to keep the drive alive. Mike Bittick's calling for a timeout, but I don't think anyone sees him. Pettit, the Union quarterback from the shotgun. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Pressure backside, slings a pass right side, thrown behind the receiver and incomplete. The wideout tried to come back to the football, but lost his footing. So 3 plays and a punt coming up here for the Jackets.
B.J. Dover in there, and B.J. broke the play up.
So Union will have to punt the football. Joseph Pettit, the quarterback, stays in there. Lines up in punt formation, and Brandon Peeler is the single safety for the Tribe. There's a snap. Here comes the rush, and the punt away. High wobbly kick that hits at the Gaffney 32 and a Union bounce to the Gaffney 26 and is down near the Indian 25-yard line. So that is where the Indians set up shop. 2nd possession, 3rd quarter, 8:44 remaining in this period. The Jackets still lead the Tribe 26-21.
Well, this is one of those games, Fabian, that you don't see the fans filing out early. I got a feeling they're all going to stay until it's all over with tonight.
Speaking of fans, huge crowd. Huge throng on hand here tonight at the Reservation. A couple of undefeated football teams. Teams at the line of scrimmage. Gaffney with an eye. Gardner and Martin 3 wides and a slot right. Bradshaw 7 checking off of the line of scrimmage. Now up over center is the Union linebacker showing blitz. They back off as we snap and hand it off to Brian Martin. A deep back picks his way across the 30 and up to the 32-yard line before 20 is tackled. Pick up a 7.
Now Martin on the move. Jimmy Henderson.
Brian in the opening half. Martin a very uncharacteristic opening half for him. 6 carries and only 1 yard. Martin last week 85 yards on 12 carries. Came into this game averaging nearly 10 yards a pop. 2nd out and 3 for the Tribe from their 32. Bradshaw, the snap. Play action, looks to throw. Bradshaw running for his life. I think this is a busted play as Bradshaw is trying to make positive yardage and tackled up near the 35-yard line. Be about a yard shy of the 1st down.
Well, he's tackled there, Fabian, by Yellow Jacket Shane East.
I thought at first when Bradshaw faked the handoff it was going to be a play-action pass, but evidently not. It was going to be the keeper. And Bradshaw ended up running for his life, then dropped back as if he were going to throw the football. Keep in mind, Bradshaw scored on a 39-yard run. Similar play last week against Kings Mountain.
Yeah, he knew he was in trouble.
3rd down and a yard for Gaffney, working from its 35. Bradshaw, the snap, turns and hands it off to Keon Gardner, the fullback, and he has the 1st down, tackled up near the 37-yard line. So Keon picks up 3 as he took the football into the teeth of that defense. Hard running by 3.
Well, if you're a true Southern football fan and a member of the club, There's certain telltale signs. I'll tell you about those in just a minute.
Okay. First and 10.
We'll see if you fit any of these, Fabian.
I doubt I will, but I'll give it a shot.
All right.
Ball spotted just inside right hash mark. Gaffney slots to the short side, right side. Gardner and Martin in the eye. Low and wide out to the left. Offensive line comes set as Bradshaw gets the snap. 7 play action looking to throw. 7 pressured backside. Heaves a deep pass down the right sideline. Going for Brandon Peeler. Incomplete. Jump ball situation. Nearly intercepted down at the Jackets' 20-yard line. But it brings up 2nd and long. Gaffney trying to stretch out that Union defense.
Yeah, almost intercepted by Mike Walton. You're a true Southern football fan and a member of the club if your doorbell plays your team's fight song. And you're really a fan, too, if your car horn does, too. You're a true Southern football fan, Fabian, if you've ever traded a car for tickets to the Sugar Bowl. How about part of your paycheck is direct deposited to a booster club?
Jeez. 2nd and 10 for Gaffney from its 37. Bradshaw gets the snap. Union coming on the corner blitz. Bradshaw dodges that tackle attempt. Bradshaw still on his feet, running for his life. Left sideline. Bradshaw trying to turn the corner, breaks the tackle across the 40 to the 50, and tackled out of bounds up there. Gaffney gets the first down. Bradshaw picks up nearly 13 yards, and that was all number 7 that time.
Yeah, he's knocked out of bounds by Stuart Young. Just a couple more here. Also, you're a true Southern football fan if you pray to God and Bear Bryant, not necessarily in that order. You forgive Lou Holtz for his last coaching job only because it's the Christian thing to do, and you hate all Southern football teams except your own.
That's right.
Now check and see if you remember.
There you go.
Telltale signs of a true Southern football fan.
They say Gaffney's Bradshaw Littlejohn went out of bounds up at our 49-yard line, so 1st and 10 from there for Gaffney. Ball spotted left hash mark, 2 wides each side. Bradshaw from the gun hands this one off to Brian Martin, steps out of a tackle in the backfield and tackled at the 50-yard line. Are they going to? Yes, he was down. Brian stepped out of a tackle, but it was a good call. Martin's knee did touch at the 50-yard line. Crowd not happy about that. But Brian's knee did hit a gain of a yard. 2nd down and 9 coming up. Martin very quick back, quick legs, stepping out of tackles all over the place, but now they say his knee hit at the midfield stripe. So 2nd down and 9. Referee Max Melton glaring into that Gaffney offensive huddle now. And everything's okay. 2nd down and long. 6:13 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Game clock in motion. Gaffney the ball, but trailing 26-21. That was our halftime score. 4 wides, 2 to each side. Littlejohn again from the shotgun. 2 down linemen for that Union defense. Bradshaw on the quarterback draw, trying to run wide to the right, being strung out and tackled at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and 9 coming up. Ball possession down.
Well, you can see that Gaffney trying a lot of different things. It's a potpourri of plays that we've seen during the entire game tonight.
Well, you take a look at that Union defense. Jackets are just sitting back there. Gaffney's got to find an answer. Ball possession down. Must advance the ball inside the Union 41-yard line to keep the drive alive. Ball resting on the 50, right hash mark. Gaffney working left to right here in the 3rd quarter of play. Game clock in motion, down to 5:22. Bradshaw from the shotgun, 2 wides each side. Martin the back, flanked to Bradshaw's right. Bradshaw gets the snap, trying to throw the screen left side, overthrown, incomplete. It was nearly picked off, and had it been picked off, it was probably 6 points the other way.
Yeah, Shane East got his hands on it, but just momentarily it went up in the air, and it was all over with.
Now Gaffney gets up to the 50-yard line before we've got to punt the football. So Union to get the football back. Gaffney's other punt here in the 3rd quarter, we faked with a snap to the up back Brandon Byers, who was tackled for a loss of a yard. Rob Hyman punt formation. Roscoe Crosby awaiting the punt at the 15-yard line. There's a snap to Heim, and the punt is away. Wobbly kick, and this one will bounce at the Union 16, rolls inside the 10, angling right sideline, and we down the ball near the 3-yard line.
Good work there by the Indians, who got down there in the pursuit of the ball, and it was down right there by Gaffney's Roger Logan.
Well, you could say that's good news, but when you take a look at some of the touchdown drives for Union tonight, one of those 89 yards and another of 80 yards. But the Jackets now start from the 2-yard line. Is that what they've got up on the scoreboard, or is it the 3? It's the 3-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Union, working from the shadows of its goalpost. Of course, you know what a lot of aerial attacks like to do here, and that's just thread the needle with a long one down the field. Pettit operates with 2 backs behind him for one of the few times tonight. And perhaps a little confusion as to the play call. Browning, the deep back, 3 wides and a slot right. 4 down lineman for Gaffney. Browning gets the handoff and tackled near the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and long coming up. Time to play the battle of field position. Gaffney head coach Joe Montgomery mustering the skilled players of the Gaffney offense. Brian Martin, Keon Gardner, and Bradshaw Littlejohn. It's been a frustrating night, so to speak, in some areas for Bradshaw. 2nd down and 11 for the Jackets. They actually say it was a loss of 1 on the play, back to the 2, and the crowd comes to its feet. 3 wides, 2 to the right side for the Jackets. Pettit gets a snap, turns, hands to Browning, and nothing doing there. Tackled near the line of scrimmage, and it's 3rd down and long.
Well, I was just taking a look, Fabian, at one of the offensive linemen.
Moved a little early.
Yeah, and I, that's true. But the one I was looking at was Terry Green, and he is a senior, 6'1", and 305 pounds out there.
Yeah, the heaviest offensive lineman that they have got. One at 215, 205, another at 220. 3rd down and 10 for Union. Working from about its 2-yard line. 2 wides right, be careful here. Pettit gets the snap, rolls the pocket, fires up the field, incomplete. Through behind the intended receiver up at the 20 or at the 15-yard line, but Tiger Glenn could not make the reception. So the Gaffney defense comes up big here as Union will have to punt from its end zone. Now keep in mind, Pettit in the opening half had a 15-yard punt, and last week averaged just under 28 yards per punt. Boy, not a whole lot of room for him to work with here. Brandon Peeler, the single safety for Gaffney. The ball spotted left hash mark. There's a snap to Pettit low and gets the punt away. This hits at the Jacket 26 and a Union roll out across the 30, across the 35 in the middle of the field and down up near the 37-yard line. So a 35-yard punt that time from Pettit.
Puts Gaffney in great field position as they're down 26-21 with 3:42 remaining in the 3rd from the reservation. Just a moment, we'll check back with Ernie Payne for an update on some other scores, so hang on.
Wow, what a great football game this has been. And Fred Littlejohn comes back into the Gaffney lineup now as the quarterback. Wides to each side for the try. Bradshaw, a tight end to the right side, and now Union, I think, has to call a timeout. They had a late guy coming onto the field and do call a timeout.
All right, during the timeout, let's go to Ernie Payne, studio control, get an update on some of the other games that we're following tonight. Ernie?
Well, thank you, Dennis Fowler, and good evening, everyone. From the 3rd quarter over in Blacksburg, Chapman has regained the lead at the end of the 3rd quarter. It's Chapman.
A baby monitor. Oh, God, it's beautiful. You did it. You did. And guess what? We got you a matching set.
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
We're still riding on Michelin tires because our daddy loves us.
3:42 remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's Union 26 and Gaffney 21. That battle going on at T.A. Campbell Stadium tonight. Earlier this week would have been a matchup of unbeatens, but Chapman, which lost in the opening week to Greer, Greer on its own said that it had played a pair of ineligible players in that win, so Greer having to forfeit that to Chapman, but Blacksburg looking for its first win. Out of this Union timeout, teams in the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 Gaffney at the Union 37-yard line. Fred Littlejohn, the junior, checking off at the line of scrimmage. And Union showing blitz. Now they retreat. Fred gets a snap, turns, hands it to deep back. Brian Martin picks his way across the 35 and tackled near the 34-yard line. Brian picks up maybe 4 yards.
Shane East on the tackle for the Bees.
I thought Brian may get more yardage on that than he did. Hard fought. 4 or 5 yards. Gaffney working left to right here in this 3rd quarter. Tron Thompson, a wide out to the left side. Brandon Peeler to the right. Bradshaw, the tight end, lined up to the left. Offset eye to that side. Fred gets the snap, turns, hands to Brian Martin, trying to one wide left, cuts back in, tackled near the line of scrimmage.
Well, Martin, no room to go. He was sort of sewed up there. Reggie Tucker and also Stuart Young.
Bradshaw not staying in to block that time. He headed downfield into a pass pattern. 3rd down and now 6, according to the scoreboard, for the Indians, who trail 26-21.
That needle is kind of hard to thread.
Yes. No scoring here in the third quarter of play. A couple of those Union defensive linemen hands on hips as they get down into their stances as the Gaffney offensive line settles in. Gaffney with 3 wides, 2 right. Fred gets the snap. Here comes the blitz off the corner. Watch out, Fred backside. Airs a pass out. Deep right sideline going for Peeler. Jump ball, goal line, incomplete.
Caught it out of bounds.
Well, that time one had pressure from the backside. Delivered the ball down the field. So 4th down here for Gaffney. 4th and 6 for the Indians at the 33 of the Jackets.
And it tipped off of Rod Crosby.
And you take a look at that. Peeler at 5'11", going against Crosby at 6'3".
Roscoe Crosby, excuse me. I'm thinking about Rob.
You do the arithmetic and see who's going to win that matchup 9 times out of 10. Here we go, folks. 4th down and 6 for Gaffney. At the Union 33-yard line. Bradshaw, a wide out to the left. Trips to the right side. Martin alone back behind Fred Littlejohn, the junior QB. Fred gets a snap screen. This is caught by Keon Gardner. He's got the first down to the 20 and tackled near the 19-yard line. Keon Gardner makes the catch on a quick pass.
Good work by Keon. Stopped by East. Indians headed toward the goal.
Well, Roscoe Crosby, the talented utility player for the Jackets, slow to get up to the turf that time, 25, as he bends over at the 10-yard line. He's played a whale of a football game. 1st and 10, Gaffney. Line of scrimmage, the Jacket 19-yard line, left hash mark. Eye set for the drive, wides to each side. It's Gardner and Martin in the eye as Fred barks out the play at the line. Gets under center. The snap turns, gives it a deep back Brian Martin, and plunges down to the 16-yard line for a gain of about 3 yards.
And that's where he's stopped by Jimmy Henderson of the Yellow Jackets.
Well, Gaffney coming into this contest, not only having won the last 4 in this series with Union, but the Indians have won 28 straight regular season non-region games coming to this one. And a big Union defensive lineman shaken up on the turf. It might be the nose guard, Jimmy Henderson, 79.
Let's take time out for an injury update. It is brought to you by Carolina Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Clinic, 104A Professional Park in Gaffney. Let's go down to Clowney Jordan, standing by on the sideline. Clowney?
All right, gentlemen, I talked to Dr. Frank Phillips right before the second half started, and he said no major injuries to report. He's looking forward to that, going to that big Atlanta-Minnesota game Sunday down in Atlanta. So nobody's hurt, just a few bumps and bruises. Everybody's pretty much okay.
How about the player going off for Union there?
Hard to tell from this side over here, guys, but it looks like he's dragging his left leg a little bit.
Yep, that is Henderson. That's Jimmy Henderson, one of the big defensive players who've made a lot of great plays in tonight's game.
Obviously, they've got only 5'9", but 275.
Yeah, injury update brought to you by Carolina Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Clinic. If an injury puts you along the sidelines, be sure to contact Dr. Frank Phillips, also Dr. Richard Gardner, and Dr. Walter Grady, 104A Professional Park here in Gaffney.
Tribe up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 7 from the Jacket 16-yard line. Left hash mark. Fred up under center. Keon the lone back, and he hands to Keon straight up the gut. Keon breaks a tackle. Stutter step move to the 10. He's got the first down. Tackle near the 6-yard line. Keon rumbles his way for a gain of nearly 10, perhaps 11 yards.
That first down came on 3rd effort.
It did. Following the lead, blocking that time of that offensive line, Brad Beatty, the junior up front, graded out at 92% last week against Kings Mountain, the highest grade by Gaffney offensive lineman number 54. And Adam Gilbert and Matt Robertson, the left guard and right guard, respectively, grading out at 88 and 90%. 1st and goal, Gaffney, Union 6-yard line. Eye set. Fred gets a snap, turns, hands to Brian Martin, trying to bounce it wide and tackled for a loss. Back near the 8-yard line.
Tackle made by Stuart Young.
Under 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. Game summary brought to you by Fats Cafe. Catering available, and their Calabash chicken is still number 1. Call them at 488-0310. It's been a defensive struggle here in the third quarter of play. Neither team has scored. 26-21 is the score, Union, right now. That was our halftime score. 2nd and goal for the Tribe. They say the ball out at the Union 7-yard line. Fred Littlejohn, the Gaffney QB, from the shotgun. Martin, the back flank to his right. 4 wides, trips to the right. 1 awaiting the snap from Beatty and gets it. Here comes the rush from the corner. Fred looking to throw. Fires into the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Gaffney. It's Brandon Peeler. Number 13 makes his first touchdown reception of the game and his 5th of the season. And the Indians have reclaimed the lead at 27-26.
It was picture perfect. Peeler was standing wide open. Ball went in, caught it. Hey, he says, This is it.
63-yard drive for the Tribe, and it's 27-26 scoring update brought to you by Sagebrush Steakhouse, located at 1541 Floyd Baker Boulevard here in Gaffney. PAT near sideline. Here's Clowney.
Rob Heim, guys, he's perfect. 3 for 3 tonight. Bradshaw Littlejohn to hold. There's the snap. It's down. The kick is up. It's high enough, and it is good. So with 18.7 seconds left in the third quarter, the score is now Gaffney 28, Union 26. This is Gaffney Indian football.
You at McDonald's. McDonald's Shakers. Come on in and try one of these fresh, delicious salads. Choose from chef, chicken, Caesar, or garden. A new way to shake up your lunch. Also throw in a triple cheeseburger for just $1.69 at McDonald's. The new McDonald's, McDonald's Shakers.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
Back at the reservation, 18 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and Gaffney has reclaimed the lead at 28-26. Gaffney kickoff brought to you by Ronnie Burns Ford, Highway 221, Chesney. That's where you'll find the Western Star trucks and the Ford Ranger and F-Series trucks. Gaffney's Rob Heim with a football teed up at the Gaffney 40-yard line. Kick travels left to right, high end over end kick. And now a marker down, and we were offsides on the kickoff coverage unit. So Gaffney to be docked 5 yards here. The thing about that one is you allow Roscoe Crosby, 25, another opportunity for the kick return, but it gives us an opportunity to tell you the Gaffney scoring drive
On the black.
63 yards. Fred Littlejohn, a 6-yard pass to Brandon, or 7-yard pass to Brandon Peeler on 2nd and goal. So now Heim will have to launch this kick from our 35-yard line. May have heard us say last week, Rob had a number of kickoffs in that Hunter Huss game and put a few of them in the end zone, but Rob told the kicking staff or the coaching staff for the special teams that if he got the kickoff coverage team to just slow down a little bit, it would give him more time to kick the football. Consequently, he would be able to drive more into the end zone. But here Rob tees the football up back at the 35-yard line, right hash mark. And 22 approaches and puts foot to leather. Driving sidewinder kick. Crosby inside the 5. Watch this. Inside left hash mark. Out across the 15 to the 20. Sprinting out across the 25. Breaks a tackle, but tackled near the 29-yard line. So Crosby, a return of nearly 26 yards.
And that's where he's taken down by Gaffney's just Stephen Tate.
So just Stephen Tate comes up with the special teams play. See if that Gaffney defense can continue to play well here in the third quarter. 11 seconds remaining in the third period as Gaffney leads 28-26. Union breaks the huddle and up to the line of scrimmage. Jackets from their 29-yard line. Pettit up over center. 4 down linemen on that Gaffney defense. Browning the lone back, 3 wide, slot left. There's a snap. They hand to Browning over the left side, out across the 35 to the 40. Steps out of a tackle to the 45 and tackled from behind and near the 47-yard line. Gain of nearly 18 yards for Kyle Browning.
Browning was on his way to the races. The way he came out of there like a cannonball out of a cannon.
Well, 5 seconds remaining here in the period. See if Union takes another snap from center. The Jackets will not. So 3 quarters of play in the books here at the reservation. The 57th meeting in this series. We're heading to the fourth quarter. Your score, Gaffney 28 and Union 26. This is Gaffney Indian football.
Know which way to turn? Turn to First Piedmont in Gaffney. 3 locations to serve you. Spartanburg, 2 locations. Our prime interest is you. Absolutely free checking. Remember, First Piedmont can help.
Nobody does it better than we do. At First Piedmont Federal, our prime interest is you.
Back at the reservation, along with Dennis Fowler and Clowney Jordan, Fabian Fuentes, this football game has been everything we thought that it would be, and then some. As we head to the fourth quarter, Gaffney ranked 4th in the 4A AP poll, leading Union. The Yellow Jackets rated 2nd in the 3A AP poll, 28-26. This has been a flat-out war. Of course, next week, Gaffney will host Lawrence here at the reservation. First things first. Next week, the Jackets take on Keenan. So Union with the football. First play, fourth quarter, 1st and 10 for the Jackets from their 46-yard line. Ball right hash mark. Joseph Pettit from the shotgun. Gets a snap, looks to throw, rolls the pocket left. The right-hander floats a pass far side and incomplete. Overshot his intended receiver, so 2nd and 10 coming up here, well overthrown. I think that was Tiger Glenn, 21, the intended receiver. So 2nd and long coming up here. Shaky start for Pettit in this football game tonight. Picked off twice in as many passing attempts, but he has settled down, to certainly say the least.
Want to remind you, after this game tonight, Stan Olenek and company comes your way with the high school football scoreboard. All the scores from all across South Carolina right here on the Upstate Power Station.
So 2nd down and 10 for Union from its 46. Pettit again from the shotgun, 3 wide, slot left. Looking to throw from his 40, fires down the left seam. This is caught by Tiger Glenn. He's got the first down to the Gaffney 30 and tackled near the 27-yard line.
So he's brought down by Roger McIntosh.
A little post pattern that time. They tried to go to Tiger Glenn on the sideline route previous play, and this time they thread down the seam. So 1st and 10 for Union. The ball now spotted at about the Gaffney 27-yard line, left hash mark. We are just underway here in the 4th quarter. Jackets will work from left to right here in this period of action. Jeff Littlejohn, Anthony Littlejohn, Trey Wood, Billy Smith, the down lineman for the Tribe, Roger McIntosh and Dory Brown, the 2 linebackers for Gaffney. Tron Dawkins, B.J. Dover, Roger Logan, some of the DBs for the Tribe. Pettit the snap from the shotgun. Here comes a rush, floats a pass left side, one-on-one, jump ball, intercepted at the 1-yard line and out of bounds. Bradshaw Littlejohn made the interception off the deflection. That is why you put your best athletes out on the field, my folks.
Absolutely right. Critical situations, they come up with the big plays every time.
One-on-one coverage and the ball deflected. It was a jump ball type situation, and Bradshaw was there, 7 to pick off the pass. Now, bad news is we're going to start from our 2-yard line. Keep in mind, we went 95 yards in the opening game. See if we can do it again. Fred Littlejohn is the quarterback, has the eye behind him, wides each side. Gaffney from the 2, there's a snap, and we hand it off to the fullback across the 5 and maybe to the 6-yard line. Keon with a gain of maybe 3.5 to 4 yards on 1st down, just trying to get that offense some breathing room here.
Yeah, get some working room out of that end zone. Maybe we can do some things.
Well, we've got college football coming up on the Upstate Power Station tomorrow afternoon. The Clemson Tigers opening ACC play there at Death Valley as Clemson plays host to 22nd-ranked Virginia. Airtime will be at 12:30 right here on 105.3. Kickoff is at 3:30. And, of course, the Gamecocks of USC open up SEC play, traveling over to Athens, Georgia to take on the 12th-ranked Bulldogs. Kickoff at 5. 2nd and 7 for Gaffney from its 5-yard line. Going to get this one off. Play clock about to expire. Fred up under center, gets the snap, hands it off to the fullback, Keon Gardner. Again, nothing doing there. May have pushed up to the 6-yard line for a gain of a yard. So 3rd down and 6 coming up. Well, battle of field position right now. If we don't get some breathing room here, get another 1st down. If we do have to punt Rob Heim, we'll be doing this from the end zone. Game clock in motion, down to 10:14. That's the time remaining in regulation. Gaffney clinging to a 28-26 lead. Only scoring in the second half coming from Gaffney. Fred Littlejohn, a 7-yard touchdown pass to Brandon Peeler back in the 3rd quarter. Fred operating from the shotgun, 2 wides each side. We snap the ball over his head. Fred has to pick the ball up in the end zone and is tackled for the safety. And the football game is tied at 28. Well, I'll tell you what, that football came out from center like a cannonball and just sailed over Fred's head. But Fred alertly picked up the football, and it's a safety. So the game is tied at 28. Scoring update brought to you by Sagebrush Steakhouse, 1541 Floyd Becker Boulevard in Gaffney. Sagebrush, home of the baby back ribs and the best steaks in town.
Well, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, Union could have fallen on top of the football in the end zone for a touchdown. Instead, the football game is now tied at 28. Said in the opening half, we'd seen just about everything there was to see in a football game, and that safety right there, I think, pretty much makes the point.
I told you not to go to the refrigerator.
So here we go. Rob Heim out there. He's got the tee with him, so he'll take the free kick, put the ball on the tee. Gaffney assembling the kickoff coverage unit over there. Mike Biddix, our defensive coordinator, also in charge of that. So this Gaffney kickoff brought to you by Ronnie Burns Ford and Western Star Trucks. Highway 221 in Chesney. That's where you'll find the Ford Escorts. Get a good one into this one, Rob. We're going to need it. Football game tied at 28. If this thing has to come down to the place kicking game, you really have to feel that Gaffney has the huge advantage. Heim last week, a 22-yard field goal attempt, and made it, and has also had to drill a couple of PATs from 35 yards out. So Heim approaches, and we've got movement. We're offsides on the kickoff, and Heim launched this one down to the 20-yard line. So to make matters worse, Gaffney will do this now from its 15. We're either offsides or we had illegal substitution. We ran a guy on there at the end trying to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 men on the field for the Tribe.
Substitution infraction.
Well, now we're really going to have to hope that Heim ate an extra bowl of Wheaties this morning. He's going to have to launch the kick of his life. Game tied at 28 with 9:55 remaining in regulation. This kick will travel right to left across your radio dial. 22 places the football on the tee. Ball spotted right hash mark. And there's a whistle, and Rob approaches. High sidewinding kick. Crosby fields off the one hop at his 25. Right seam to the 40, to the 45, and hammered up near the 47-yard line. It was McIntosh, I believe, 24, that applied the leather.
Roger McIntosh becomes a candidate for the blast of the game tonight. Woo! Did he ever put a hit on him? I'm telling you.
So Union, as this crowd is into the football game, as you can imagine. The Jackets from their 49-yard line, ball spotted right hash mark. Marcus Porter, a wide out to the left. They'll split two to the right. Joe Pettit from the shotgun. There's the snap. Here comes the rush. Hands off to Browning. Running left. Cuts it to the outside. Back in. Into the Gaffney 49 before he's hog-tied. He's fumbled the football, but they're going to say Browning down back at the Gaffney 49. So a gain of 2 yards. Second down and 8.
Well, Roger
still going at it after the play, Dennis.
Yeah, Roger McIntosh was in for the tackle there.
That's a pretty gutsy move by whoever the Union player was that got Jeff Littlejohn 72 furious. I don't think you want to necessarily get Jeff's motor going any more than it already is. 6'2", 285 pounds. Oh, this is just a great football game. And they're just out there smacking each other in the mouth.
Is that what makes it so nice?
Oh, yeah.
Max Melton right in the middle of it.
That's right. And has done a good job tonight.
Absolutely good job. He's a great official, let me tell you.
Second down and 8 for Union at the Gaffney 49 is the home crowd. Chance defense. Pettit up under center. Gets the snap, short drop. Looks to throw. Fires up the middle. This is caught by Jolly. He's got the first down. Tackle to the Gaffney 38-yard line.
By Bradshaw Littlejohn.
Play picked up 11 yards, and they went to Jolly that time. Lined up in the slot. Same side that they had Roscoe Crosby. Cannot forget about Crosby now. They've tried to go to him on a few occasions. He's got one more play left in him. And it's what Union fans are hoping for. First and 10 for the Jackets at the Gaffney 38-yard line. Ball spotted left hash mark. 4 wides, 2 to each side. Pettit from the shotgun with Browning the back to his right. Porter, the wide out to the left in motion behind the line of scrimmage. Gives him trips right. Pettit gets a snap, rolling the pocket right. He's under pressure. He throws the football as he was hit. The pass is incomplete, and a penalty marker is down. We're going to have intentional grounding here coming up against Pettit, as no hesitation from our referee, Max Melton, who was trailing the play as he threw the flag in there.
Billy Smith, the guy who made the tackle, and gets credit for a good move.
Now, we've not been given the preliminary indication yet, but Gaffney came with a blitz that time. And did you say it was Billy Smith?
Yeah, Billy Smith.
9 came in there like a rocket. Max Melton, intentional grounding. A call against the Jackets. That's loss of down. And personal foul against Gaffney. So 2 markers on the field.
Max not getting his mic on at that time, but you can, there we go.
Personal foul on the black, second down.
So we're talking second down. There's loss of yardage out of all that mess. Back out to about the 41-yard line. So second down and 13 for the Jackets to go. Line of scrimmage at the Gaffney 41-yard line, 8:23 remaining in regulation. Football game is tied at 28. 2 wides each side. Joseph Pettit from the shotgun. The senior gets the snap. Here comes the rush. Fires down the left seam. Incomplete. Matt Jolly nearly reached above the defensive back and came away with a catch, but incomplete. Ball possession down here for the Jackets. Third down and 13.
Roger Logan doing a good job there.
We've got Tron Dawkins. Let's take a look at some of the Gaffney secondary now. Tron Dawkins in there, as well as Roy. Got Bradshaw now playing safety. You put his 6'4" frame there at that safety position. Roger Logan, a corner on the right side. Tron Dawkins and B.J. Dover over on the left. Third down and 13 for the Jackets. From the Gaffney 41, Crosby right out right in motion to the left behind the offensive line. There's a snap to put it out of the shotgun. Rolls the pocket left, under pressure, shoots a pass down the field, incomplete. Penalty marker coming in, up behind the play. Our referee, Max Melton. This could be a chop block against Union. Yes, I thought it was a late hit on the quarterback, so that's why with relief, I say chop block.
I was watching Bradshaw back there. I wondered if it was thrown against Ted for pass interference. It was not. Then I looked over to the side, and I thought it was the block, too.
So we're going to decline that penalty. Our defensive captain, Jeff Littlejohn, declining it. Here's Max.
And the New England Blue on the waist, on the right. It's used. Fourth down.
So fourth down here for the Jackets and the punt team. Punt coverage team trots onto the football field. Of course, Joseph Pettit, not only the quarterback, but the punter as well, so 16 stays out there. Brandon Peeler drifting back into that single safety position for Gaffney. This punt will travel left to right. 8:14 remaining in this slugfest, and we're tied at 28. Line of scrimmage to Gaffney 41. Pettit awaiting the snap, low snap, fields off the turf, and the punt is blocked. It's Richburg and Dory Brown on the recovery for Gaffney, but the ball stripped loose and recovered by Union at the Jacket 46-yard line.
Pettit on the recovery.
Now the thing about this was there change of possession. There was, and Union's got the football back. Oh my goodness. Gaffney blocked the punt. It was Richburg. Dory Brown picked up the football. The officials say that Brown had established position. Brown got stripped by Joseph Pettit, and Union has the football back at its 46. Wow.
Everything it could be is going on here tonight. You people who are not in the stadium below us and are at home, you're missing something.
All right, come on, defense. Got to come up big again. First and 10 Union from its 46-yard line. 2 wides to each side of the field. Pettit again from the shotgun. 4 down linemen for that Gaffney defense. Tied at 28, 8:06 to play. Pettit gets a snap, looks to throw, fires down the left seam, incomplete. Nearly a sliding catch made by Porter down at the Gaffney 35-yard line. Of course, Marcus, number 1, was the quarterback in this matchup last year when Union was down to its third-string quarterback, and that was Marcus. 5 of 13 in the game a year ago for 54 yards, was picked off 3 times. Speaking of interceptions, Pettit's been picked 3 times in this game, but only once since his first 2 passes. Second down and 10 Union from its 46-yard line. Ball between the hash marks. Pettit from the shotgun. This is the same formation. 16 gets the snap. Looking to throw. He's under pressure. Penalty marker thrown in by the umpire, and Pettit just airs this one out right sideline as he had nobody open. But once again, the referee throwing in the flag, and that more than likely is holding. Max Craig is the umpire, and the preliminary indication now given by Max Melton. So now decision time here for the Tribe is, we declined it, bring up third down, but Gaffney will accept the penalty to march Union back.
Holding on the right. Please, second down.
I'm sure Coach Montgomery would like to encourage the fans upon exiting the facility tonight to maybe drop a few extra dollars at the gate, because this game has been worth more than the price of admission.
Worth more than the, what is it, $4?
Second down and 22 for Union from its 34-yard line. Jackets with 4 wideouts. Jolly, one of the wideouts to the right side, 32, unsure of what the play is, and so's Crosby. Play clock here lasting an eternity. Pettit now calling out the play. He's very nonchalant. Pettit from the shotgun, 4 wides, and trips to the right with the ball between the hash marks. Gets the snap. Now he's going to run the option for the first time tonight. Being strung out, and 16 hammers the line of scrimmage.
Good work.
Third down coming up.
Yeah, good work by Roy Dawkins and company out there. 7:45 remaining in the game. It's tied at 28.
We got people all over the place here. I mean, they're sitting on the bank. They're sitting, or they're probably standing 5 deep beyond the fence to the end zone to our left.
Oh, they're sitting on each other.
Third down and 23, saying that there was a loss of a yard on that play. 3rd and 23. Union, to keep the drive alive, must get the football inside the Gaffney 44-yard line. 4 down linemen for the Tribe defense. 4 wides, 2 to each side. Crosby now lining up as a slot to the right. Pettit gets the snap. 16 looking to throw. Here comes the rush. He fires over the middle, deflected and intercepted. Roger Logan on the return for Gaffney. He's at our 40. Gets a great block across the 50 to the 45 to the Union 40. He's at the 35 and driven out of bounds at the Yellow Jacket 33-yard line. You may have heard me mention a block earlier on that return. It was Dory Brown 45 that had a Yellow Jacket for a big night snack.
Well, you know, when he started back with that football after he intercepted it, Fabian, Logan was directing traffic out there. He was holding the ball with one hand, looking behind him and making the motions. You know, here's a guy, block him. Here's another one, block him. I'm going this way.
So Gaffney at the Union 33 and Bradshaw back in the game at quarterback now. Jackie Leach late getting onto the field. He's a wide out to the right side. We slot to the short side left. I set. Bradshaw the snap. Toss sweep right side. Bryan trying to cut in. Now trying to run wide. Stiff arms one tackler. Steps out another tackle. But now pulled down behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 37-yard line. Maybe even the 38. And now a penalty marker comes in right where Keon Gardner was standing with our umpire.
Xavier Bird, the Jacket who made the tackle, will wait for the indication from Max Melton.
I don't think there's going to be much doubt, but let's see. Hopefully this is going to be one that goes both ways. Keon was not happy when he saw the flag come in, but I think from the way we're motioning, we may have offsetting. It's Max Melton.
Dead ball foul on the black. Dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike on the white. It'll be 2nd down.
So 2nd down. Coming up here for Gaffney. 6:46 remaining in regulation. Gaffney and Union are tied at 28. Union a golden opportunity a few moments ago. Starting from its 46-yard line, Union had a punt blocked. Gaffney recovered but fumbled on the return. Union regained possession but could do nothing on the drive. So now Gaffney has possession because of an interception. 2nd and 14 for the Tribe. The Jacket 38. Ball spotted right hash mark. Bradshaw from the shotgun. Gets a snap. Penalty marker thrown in for the referee, Max Melton. Delay a game coming up here, I believe, against the Tribe. And for a start, not exactly sure who Max is trying to seek out here. Well, illegal participation, illegal substitution called against the Tribe. So Gaffney going in the wrong direction here. Now Max Melton talking things over. Gaffney going to be faced now with a... Now they're going to wave off the flag. Now that was a good call.
Like I said, we've seen it all here tonight.
So 2nd down and 14 for the Tribe. Line of scrimmage, the Union 38-yard line. Mike Anthony, the Jackets head coach, over on the sideline. I think he might have been in agreement with the flag being waved off. Line of scrimmage, the Jacket 38, ball spotted right hash mark. Gaffney working right to left here in the 4th quarter of play. Bradshaw Littlejohn, our quarterback from the shotgun, trips to the left. 7 gets the snap. Here comes the blitz, left side. Caught by Brian Martin in the backfield. Tackled for a loss. Back at a 42-yard line. Loss of at least 4 yards, maybe even 5.
Shane Fast making the tackle. 6:14 remaining in the game. Still tied at 28.
Well, actually a good play call that time. They came on the blitz. We threw right where they vacated, but great recovery in the secondary by that Union defense. And it's a loss of yardage on the play. 3rd down and 21. Got to get this football inside the 23-yard line to keep things going here. Jamar Montgomery now into the game as a wide out to the right side. Brandon Peeler slotted to that side. Jackie Leach out left. Ball spotted left hash mark. Bradshaw from the shotgun. 7 gets the snap. Here comes the rush. Bradshaw rolling the pocket right under pressure. Hit as he throws deep down the right side. Going and intercepted inside the 5-yard line, and Union's on the return. Out across the 10 to the 15 to the 20. Left sideline, and Bradshaw hammers the defensive back down at the 29-yard line. Wow.
Oh, that was another good hit.
Woo! Man. And here the pads are popping from up here. So Union now with the football at its 29-yard line. That, the first interception for Bradshaw Littlejohn in well over 100 attempts, dating back to last season. So Union from its 29, tied at 28 with 5:31 to play. Teams at the line of scrimmage. Pettit from the shotgun, 2 wides right side. Rolling the pocket to the right side. Right-hander fires up the field. Caught by Tiger Glenn, right sideline up at the 32 and tackled there. So short gain of maybe 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 coming up.
Tackle made by Dory Brown of the Indians.
Yeah, Dory's been all over the place tonight. McIntosh and Brown, the linebackers. Trey Wood, Anthony Littlejohn, Jeff Littlejohn, Billy Smith up there on the line, Tron Dawkins, Roy Dawkins, Roger Logan, B.J. Dover, and Bradshaw Littlejohn, the secondary. Bradshaw is the safety. Has picked off 1 pass here in the second half. That in this quarter. 2nd down and 7 Union from its 31. Ball right hash mark, 2 wides to the left. Pettit the snap from the shotgun. Throws quick side. Roscoe Crosby makes the catch, drops the football. They say the pass incomplete. Crosby made the catch right sideline up to the 36. Took a quick peek to see who was around him and then dropped the football.
Let's go down to Clowney Jordan standing along the sidelines. What's the energy level down there now, Clowney?
As I'm telling you, it's coming down to 4 minutes and 43 seconds, and it is intense over here. The defense is actually taking over the second half. We've had 2 good opportunities, and the penalties are killing us here.
3rd down and 7 Union from about its 31-yard line. Ball spotted right hash mark. 4 down linemen for that Gaffney defense as the home crowd chants defense. Joseph Pettit from the shotgun gets the snap, play action, rolls the pocket left, looking down the field, still looking, shuttles a pass down. This is caught by Jolly, tackled immediately at the 50, and it's a Union 1st down.
He is tackled immediately, Fabian, by Gaffney's Roy Dawkins, but like you said, it is a 1st down for Union.
Well, crunch time here. That time Joseph Pettit just bought himself some time and delivered the pass up the field. So 1st down and 10 Union. Football actually in Gaffney territory. Ball spotted left hash mark. Game clock down to 4:26 and in motion. We're tied at 28. Roscoe Crosby slotted to the right side. That's the wide side of the field. Tron Dawkins on him defensively. Pettit the snap from the shotgun. Here's it out right sideline. Incomplete. Tiger Glenn nearly made the catch, falling to his backside on the Gaffney side at the 31-yard line. Trying to stretch the defense there a little bit. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Been one heck of a football game. We've had a few scores from other games in the area, but this very well could be the best game of the night.
Absolutely the best game we've seen tonight.
Tiger Glenn, yes, and Crosby, wide outs to the right side. 2 to the short left side. Pettit again from the shotgun. Now it's Dory Brown matched up against Crosby. Low snap, swing pass, right side. This is caught by Browning to the 50 and tackled at the Gaffney 46-yard line. Give him about 3, maybe 4 yards. 3rd and 6 coming up.
Oh, I thought he was going to bowl. The way he got the ball from center, he looked like he was bowling, didn't he, to you?
So ball possession down here. Game clock is under 4 minutes. Overflow crowd and then some on hand here at the reservation tonight to watch Gaffney and Union, the 57th edition. 3rd down and 7 for the Jackets at the Gaffney 46. Ball spotted right hash mark. 4 wides, 2 to each side. Crosby wide out to the right in motion behind the line of scrimmage now to give the Jackets trips to the left side. That's the wide side. Pettit gets the snap, flushes the pocket to the left, throws this one over the middle. This is caught. The tackle made immediately. A Union 1st down to the Gaffney 32-yard line, and that was Roscoe Crosby, 25, who made the reception.
And that was Bradshaw Littlejohn on the tackle for the Indians.
Yeah, Bradshaw that time late at 2:25, but the Jackets moving the football here. 3:25. Now the game clock put back in motion. That is the time remaining in regulation. We're tied at 28. Union tied the football game up when we had a high snap to our quarterback in the end zone, and Fred tackled in the end zone to tie the game at 28. Ball spotted left hash mark at the Gaffney 32-yard line, I believe it is. Now penalty markers come in. We have movement on the offensive line. So everything blown dead. False start, the preliminary indication against the Jackets.
Get ball foul. False start. On the right. Still first down.
Of course, the thing about the Union place kicking game this year, they have not had the greatest success. So more than likely, the only way Union's going to be able to score here is to stick it in the end zone. So 1st and 15. Ball back out at the Gaffney 36-yard line, left hash mark. 2 wides to the wide side. That's the right side of the field. Now slot left in motion to the right side. They hand it off. Browning trying to run left and tackle near the original line of scrimmage. Bring it up 2nd down and long.
Well, what you want to do is stop this drive here, get the ball turned over to you, and I think Gaffney's proven in many critical areas that they could score within just a few seconds.
Well, Darrell Richburg coming back into the game for Gaffney. Billy Smith out, as is Dory Brown. Well, Gaffney with 3 timeouts remaining and Union 2, but Union right now controlling things. 2nd down and 10 at the Gaffney 31-yard line. They now send 3 wideouts to the right side, and Glenn, Jolly, and Roscoe Crosby. Ball spotted left hash mark. Bennett from the shotgun, looking to throw. Pressure, fires right side. Crosby makes the catch at the 25 to the Gaffney 20 and tackled there. That's enough for a Union first down.
Union really moving that football.
And Crosby in the first half had 133 yards receiving. And is close to the 200-yard mark for the game. 1:58 now remaining in regulation. Tied at 28. Union with the football at the Gaffney 19-yard line, right hash mark. Glenn and Porter wideouts to the left side. Crosby to the right. Pellet up under center with Browning the back behind him, and Browning gets a handoff running left and tackled at the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and long coming up. So interesting scenario here now faced with the Union coaching staff. You're deep in Gaffney territory. You have the ball down at the Indian 19. You've got a pair of timeouts left in a tie football game with 80 seconds to go. Game clock in motion. Porter the wide out to the left is Glenn, and Crosby to the right. Joe Pettit over center. Gets the snap. Hands it off to Browning running left, and he's tackled in the backfield. Back at about the 25-yard line.
Good work there by Gaffney's Brandon Sullivan. Sullivan working on another offensive lineman over there and just turned and he buried it.
And the Jackets have called a timeout and will take the break as well. 3rd down and about 16 for Union when we come back. 59 seconds remaining in the ball game. We're tied at 28. This is Gaffney Indian football.
Carolina Vision Associates and the Peachtree
Need money fast? BF Motor Credit offers small loans starting at $300. Fast, friendly service is guaranteed within 30 minutes. No appointments are needed. BF Motor Credit, located at 421 North Limestone Street, downtown Gaffney.
Street True Value and Home Medical Equipment is open and ready to serve you. We offer a full line of hardware items to help you with all of your home fix-ups. We also offer a complete line of housewares, toys, and gifts for that special occasion. So come see us today at the new bigger and better Buford Street True Value, 101 North Grenard Street, Gaffney.
Gets the snap, rolls the pocket left, looking, fires left seam, intercepted. Bradshaw Littlejohn return for Gaffney, hit from behind, he's fumbled the football, loose at the 25-yard line, and who has this? Gaffney has the football up at the 25-yard line with 48 seconds remaining in regulation. So Bradshaw Littlejohn, his 2nd interception of the 4th quarter. Keep in mind he's playing the rover, or the safety position, if you will, and Bradshaw raced right over to where the football was thrown, came away with a pick and got hammered from the backside. We actually gained 8 yards, I think it was, on the return because of the fumble.
Well, you got 48.4 seconds left, tied at 28. Right now, you're going to see the big plays come out of the woodwork.
Well, keep in mind now, Bradshaw lining up in the shotgun. We've got 4 wides, 2 to each side. Ball spotted right hash mark. Gaffney working from its 26. 48 seconds to go. Bradshaw, the snap as Union rushes 3. Bradshaw, pump fakes, sidesteps the defender, airs it out deep down the right sideline. Incomplete. It should be pass interference. There's some contact down at the 15 of the Jackets, but no call. Tron Thompson, the intended receiver.
Well, asked for it, did not get it.
Wow. Looked like a lot of contact there, but the official keeping the flag in the pocket. Letting the boys fight this one out. 40.7 seconds remaining in regulation. We're tied at 28. 2nd and 10 Gaffney. The Indians from their 26-yard line, and Gaffney has taken one of its 3 remaining timeouts. So we'll take the break as well. We're tied at 28. 40 seconds to play. This is Gaffney Indian football.
For custom printing and art, be sure to see the Frame Depot in the Bilo Shopping Center, Gaffney. The Frame Depot is Cherokee County's exclusive dealer for limited edition Civil War prints by nationally known artists Mort Kunstler and Don Troiani, along with many others, including Stephen Hambrick, Donnie Finley, Glenda Turley, and Lena Lou. Be sure to come into Frame Depot and see all the 200 frames in which to choose. It's Cherokee County's largest. The Frame Depot, 1107 West Floyd Baker Boulevard in Gaffney, in the Bilo Shopping Center.
Now back at the reservation. Phenomenal football game here tonight on this Friday, the 10th of September, 3rd week of the 1999 high school football season. 40.7 seconds remaining in regulation. Gaffney and Union, a battle of unbeatens, and we're tied at 28. Gaffney calls a timeout. The Indians have 2 remaining. 2nd down and 10 for the Tribe from our 26-yard line. Ball spotted right hash mark. 4 wides and trips to the wide side of the field, which is the left. Union with 2 down linemen and an end in a 2-point stance. Bradshaw from the shotgun and our wide receiver to the right in motion, and the play's blown dead. Markers on the turf. Jackie Leach, the wide out to the right side.
.40 seconds remaining, tied at 28.
And of course, the football game tied up on a safety. Just under 10 minutes remaining in regulation. Gaffney faced, working from the shadows of its goalpost in the shotgun, a high center snap to our quarterback, Fred Littlejohn, who got the football in the end zone but then was tackled. And that has tied up the game at 28. 2nd down and 15 for the Tribe, working from our 21-yard line. Bradshaw from the gun, trips left. Bradshaw looking to throw. Under pressure, tries to step out of one tackler, running for the football. Bradshaw's got a lot of room to run. He's across the 40, to the 45, to the 50. Tries to step arm a tackler. He does. He's to the 40, to the 35, to the Union 30, and tackled at the 29-yard line.
Finally brought down by Union's Mike Walton. But oh, what a big play.
Calls timeout. And that might be one of the greatest high school football runs that I have seen. Bradshaw pinned in the backfield, somehow broke free, broke a couple of tackles up the field, stiff-armed another, and that got him down to the Union 29-yard line with 26 seconds to go. That's just an unbelievable play for what has been an unbelievable game. And Gaffney has called a timeout, so each team with 1 remaining. 26.6 seconds.
At First Piedmont Federal, we believe in you having fun.
To me, this is fun. To them, I'm worth a loan.
And we believe in helping you get ahead.
They pre-approved my loan before I started shopping.
With a quick response, usually within a day.
We've gotten our loans from them for years.
They know us and can tailor a payment plan that fits our needs.
First Piedmont Federal, where our prime interest is you.
Buford Street store in Gaffney. True Value and Home Medical. Buford Street. That's where it is.
Back back of the reservation. 26 seconds remaining in regulation. Gaffney and Union tied at 28. But thanks to the 50-yard run by Bradshaw Littlejohn, Gaffney with a 1st and 10 at the Union 29. Ball spotted right hash mark. Trips to the left wide side. Bradshaw gets the snap from the shotgun. Looking to throw. Still looking. Now rolls the pocket left. Stiff arms the tackler behind the line of scrimmage. Bradshaw at 25 near sideline. He's to the 20. And they say he's out of bounds to the 15-yard line. So Bradshaw picks up 14 yards. And the clock is stopped with 18 seconds remaining. And you know, Bradshaw is just absolutely exhausted. Number 7 bent over, gasping for breath. Well, I know I've said this many times, but this could possibly be the best football game that I have seen on the high school level. And this now my 8th year calling play-by-play for Gaffney. Bradshaw still bent over as he approaches center. 1st and 10 from the Jacket 15 with 18 seconds to go. Bradshaw fumbles a snap from center but picks up and just lunges down for a yard. And now Gaffney calling for a timeout. 12 seconds to go. Now, we've talked about the Gaffney field goal game this year, and now Rob Heim coming onto the field for what will amount to be a 31-yard field goal attempt. We'll have to wait and see where they spot the football, but this more than likely from 31 yards out inside the near side or left hash mark.
Well, is he going to do it, or is it a fake? We've already seen that one time tonight. Not a fake field goal. We've seen a fake punt.
Well, we've got a timeout, and we'll take the break as well. Gaffney lining up for the 31-yard field goal attempt. Tied at 28. This is Gaffney Indian football.
In just a few days, Wallace White, Pontiac Buick GMC truck will be moving into their brand new building on Highway 11 in Gaffney. But for now, every car and truck must be sold. Hurry in this weekend to find rebates as high as $5,000 or financing as low as 0%. Come see Wally Collins, Lou Holt, Don Pack, Ronnie Upchurch, David Wright, or Merv Bishop and get your best deal now on all Buicks, Pontiacs, and GMC trucks. Again, in just a few days, they'll be in their new location on Highway 11 in Gaffney, but for now, save thousands all at Wallace White, Pontiac Buick GMC truck, located just off I-85 at exit 95 in Gaffney.
Gaffney and Union tied at 28, 12 seconds to go. It is a 31-yard field goal attempt for Gaffney. Down to the sideline. Nope, we got another timeout as Union plays the old freeze game, if you will. So we'll take another break. This is Gaffney Indian football.
Perry's Tire Service would like to express their appreciation to all of their cherished customers for their loyalty to Perry's Tire over the years. We have been able to provide services such as brakes, shocks, struts, CV axles, front end alignments, plus many more services. Needless to say, we have fantastic prices on chrome wheels and sell a complete line of Cooper tires for passenger cars and trucks. Contact David, Deborah, or Alicia at Perry's Tire, located at 401 Grenard Street in Gaffney, phone at 489-7960.
Back at the reservation, along with Dennis Fowler, Kalani Jordan, Fabian Fuentes. What a high school football game we have seen here tonight. We are tied at 28 with 12.3 seconds to go. Gaffney lining up for a 31-yard field goal attempt. Down to the sideline now. Here's Kalani Jordan.
All right, gentlemen, Rob Heim, Bradshaw Littlejohn to hold. The snap is down, the kick is up, and it is. It's perfect. It's good. Gaffney goes up 31 to 28 with 8 seconds remaining. Back to the booth, guys.
Well, thanks a bunch. Scoring update brought to you by Sagebrush Steakhouse, 1541 Floyd Becker Boulevard in Gaffney. Sagebrush, home of the baby back ribs and the best steaks in town. 31-28 Gaffney with 8 seconds to play. This is Gaffney Indian football.
It's been one of the hottest summers ever, and there's plenty of hot weather ahead, so it's not too late to install a Bryant high-efficiency cooling system with your choice of economical gas heat or the energy-efficient heat pump. Call Johnny Childress at 489-4416 and be nice and comfortable during the dog days of summer and be prepared for the cold weather ahead. It's a great combination, Childress Heating and Air Conditioning along with Bryant. Again, that's Childress Heating and Air Conditioning, 340 East Baker Boulevard in Gaffney, your local Bryant dealer. Childress Heating and Air Conditioning of Gaffney.
Well, back at the reservation. Oh, and 1/10 of a second remaining in regulation, and it is 31-28 Gaffney. Rob Heim, a 31-yard field goal, and he just launched that one through the uprights down to the end zone to our left.
I hope you folks who watch this replay on the cable tomorrow on Channel 17 will take as big a breath as we did when we watched that.
Well, keep it, because it will be a beaut. This will be a game that we'll long talked about. This Gaffney kickoff brought to you by Ronnie Burns Ford, Highway 221 in Chesney. Rob Heim approaches. Line drive kick down the field, left side, picked up. Union on the return to the 25, out to the 30. Ball tackle him, guys, and we do up at the 32-yard line, and that's it. The game clock has expired. Gaffney extends its regular season non-region win streak to 29 games and remains undefeated, and beats Union for the 5th consecutive season. Your final score tonight, Gaffney 31 and Union 28. The postgame show from the reservation after this timeout. This is Gaffney Indian football.
This weekend, Brown Furniture Company in downtown Gaffney invites you to their mega 50% off store-wide super sale. No exceptions, nothing held back. All living rooms, bedrooms, and dining rooms, 50% off. All washers, TVs, refrigerators, half off at Brown Furniture Company in downtown Gaffney. Great selection, great savings, great prices, a store-wide half-price super sale. Don't miss the opportunity to save 50% off everything store-wide through Saturday only at 5 p.m. All from the furniture store that offers you more. That's Brown Furniture Company, 113 East Frederick Street, downtown Gaffney.
Baskin-Robbins says, blast them away, Indians. Just like the Indians, you too can enjoy a blast. A cappuccino, mocha, or chocolate blast, made with your choice of ice cream and topping. Treat yourself to one of the smoothies made with truly free yogurt and fresh fruits. If you really want to indulge yourself, try our 2-scoop sundae or banana split. Baskin-Robbins is the world's largest chain of ice cream specialty shops, and 2 of them are located right here in Gaffney on Baker Boulevard and Nancy Creek Road. For your birthday, football, or specialty ice cream cake orders, call 487-3131.
Your sports connection is Sageport on Floyd Baker Boulevard in Gaffney. Hurry in this weekend to find all the hottest styles of athletic footwear and clothing on sale. See the great selection of college and pro T-shirts, sweatshirts, and jerseys on sale. You'll save on book bags and backpacks, as well as a super selection of hats. The big back-to-school sale is continuing this week with store-wide bargains, so stop in, browse around, and remember, for every sport you play, Sageport leads the way. That's Sageport on Fort Baker Boulevard in Gaffney.
I don't think this crowd wants to go home at Gaffney. They're still celebrating in the stands below us. 31-28. What a victory. What a game we saw tonight here. Fabian says probably the best one he's seen in, well, his 8 years calling play-by-play for Gaffney. I've been doing it since 1982. I don't remember when I've seen a game this good, this close, and Gaffney come out on top. Wow. And I tell you what, you know, the people in Union, they got a great team.
Oh, it is great. 2 solid football teams right here tonight. And you know, it was Bradshaw Littlechump, the final drive. He had the 50-yard run that got the football down to about the Union 29-yard line, and it was Rob Heim with a 31-yard field goal with 8.1 seconds remaining in regulation. We'll just go ahead and tell you that that was the Fats game summary brought to you by Fats Cafe, where you'll enjoy special lunch items from $4.99 to $5.99. Call them at 488-0310. Tonight's game was the 888th in Gaffney football history, and it has to rank up there with one of the most exciting games in Indian football history.
Now let's go down to midfield. Standing by after the postgame prayer with his team is Coach Joe Montgomery. He is with Clowney Jordan.
All right, guys, we're down here with Gaffney head coach Joe Montgomery. And Coach, how sweet is a victory like this?
You know, the best thing is we'll improve because we played a really good football team. And we have a chance. You end up still in the rankings, but we can go back and evaluate the film, and we'll improve from playing this game.
No quitting this team. A couple times we could have gotten down, gotten a little discouraged, but we never did that, did we?
I mean, there's never a reason for this. You know, the way we spread it and throw it, and the athletes, there's no reason. 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, you just got to come back. I was very proud of our kids making the drive. Bradshaw just did exactly what we needed. We ran them all off, and I told him get as much as he can, and hopefully we could get it down to the 30 and get a field goal. So it worked out for us. So it was a good drive for us.
How cool the customer is Rob Heim?
Well, you know, he's had a lot of experience in big-time soccer. You know, his football experience is limited, but his big-time soccer experience is none. He's been he's as calm as he can be. All I wanted him to do was make a good contact with the ball.
What'd you tell him, Coach, when you called timeout right before the field goal?
Be a winner. Do what you're coached to do. And it's just a matter of trying to be an individual. If he makes it, he makes it. If he misses, you know, you're in overtime. You know, what the heck? Yeah, it's 2 great teams that played. It's a shame either one of them has to put a loss on their column, you know. It's just two good teams. It'll make us a better football team, I can assure you.
Well, Coach, we made some mistakes, but they hurt us a little bit, but we hung in there and came back and overcame them, didn't we?
Connie, if you had to write every day in front of 10,000 people, you had to make mistakes. There's no question that you make mistakes in front of this many people. Both teams did.
Exactly.
But it's just a matter of there's a tremendous amount of pressure.
Well, that's exactly right. The pressure and tension down here was tremendous. You could feel it.
It is. I mean, we had some substitution problems, and they did too. I mean, when you play in front of this many people this early in the season, it's tough on the kids, tough on everybody. But both teams will be better football teams for having played this game.
Tell us about the defensive adjustments at the second half, Coach. The only points they got in the second half was on the safety. We've bragged about this coaching staff being able to make adjustments as the game progresses, and you did that again tonight.
And Mike did a great job. He took Dory Brown, our inside linebacker, moved him out on Roscoe, which would take away the quick pass to him in the slant because Dory's 6'2" and can jump with it. And then we rolled one of the safeties back behind him, and we played Bradshaw back there, who has enough size and ability and speed that he can run with it. And we had some kids that were small on the corners, and they took advantage of it. Yeah, that's one of the things that you just have to work on when you're coaching. You know where your weakness is. If they can exploit your weakness, they're going to score, and they did. A good football team does that. So we have to make changes.
But this kind of win can vault you into great things as the season progresses, can it?
This type of game, winning. Again, I'm going to tell you, either team is going to be better because they played their football game. It's great if you can win, you stay in the rankings. The people see tomorrow that Gaffney beat you.
Need money fast? BF Motor Credit offers small loans starting at $300. Fast, friendly service is guaranteed within 30 minutes. No appointments are needed. BF Motor Credit, located at 421 North Limestone Street, downtown Gaffney.
Buford Street True Value and Home Medical Equipment is open and ready to serve you. We offer a full line of hardware items to help you with all of your home fix-ups. We also offer a complete line of housewares, toys, and gifts for that special occasion. So come see us today at the new, bigger, and better Buford Street True Value, 101 North Grenard Street, Gaffney.
We talked about the fact that Union had a few point-after attempts blocked this year, so more than likely the only way they were going to be able to score late in the game was to stick the ball in the end zone. Tremendous pressure on an offense completely opposite for Gaffney. Bradshaw had the 50-yard run, got us down to the 29-yard line. A few plays later, you get the 31-yard field goal booted in there through Rob Heim. So this was a great all-around victory. And like Coach Montgomery said, it's a shame that somebody's got to walk off this field as a loser.
And you know what? You made a great point, too. You said Bradshaw is gasping for breath out there. This guy is tired. You're absolutely right, because he has played a well of a game tonight. Hey, we're going to continue this conversation when we come back in the post-game show. 31-28, very hard-fought 4 quarters here at the reservation tonight. Don't forget, coming up immediately following this broadcast, Stanalytic in its entirety and the high school football scoreboard. Right here, so don't go away. This is Gaffney.
Baby monitor! Oh, God, you did it! You did! And guess what? We got you a matching set!
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
We're still riding Michelin tires because our daddy loves us.
Paper towel. It has the durability like glasses.
Sweet.
Out without thinking.